What's going on, you guys? Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to our wonderful podcast. We are back, and I am joined by the fabulous people. We have Epic Potato Chip, who is joining us as a special guest. We have Chadley, our usual now. We have Mr. Corey, who's also going to be our usual. We have special guest here, Crispy Plays as well. And our last but certainly not least, our normal person who's going to be joining us from now on, Retro for the first time.
Normal. Hey
guys. How's it going, guys? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's doing great. So we are here. E3 is officially done. It's passed. I mean, it was something. It was definitely something. A lot of disappointments, a lot of great news. It was a mix of everything. So you know what? Let's just jump on ahead. Let's start with Xbox conference. There was a lot of news, a lot of things shown, and you know what do you guys think? Like, we got hit with Halo 5, but it was more like a little teaser. What do you guys think?
For the teaser, it was pretty good. I'm not that much of an Xbox fan, but this game actually got me kind of excited.
A little bit.
Just a tiny bit.
I only liked the first Halo. That was the only one that I was really into. I thought the gameplay was really fun because I like the story, right? So seeing that it looks like it's in the first Halo again, I'm really interested to see what they do with it, because if it's based in the first world, I totally want to play it.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know can everybody hear us? Because I know that Megan says she can't hear. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking now that she says she can't hear. The other voices are
The
quiet.
voices are super quiet, apparently.
I just turned it up right now.
Okay, guys, can you guys hear us better now? Do we sound better?
Louis and Epic were very quiet, according to Steph.
I hadn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
Crispy was low. Megan can hear Riga. Well, yeah.
Is it better now, though?
Are we good now?
I'll say something too, so that everyone can hear me.
Because Chadley did so much talking last time.
Yeah. I promise to talk a little bit more this time.
It's okay, Senpai. I'm
Sounds
right
better
now.
Sounds better. Is it
Little
okay?
and then a full-blown yes.
Okay, perfect. It's better. Okay,
awesome.
Perfect. Good. I just turned it up right now. By the way, I'm super rude to all our viewers. I can't say hello to all of you, but hello, Stevie. Hello, Nighthawk. Hello, Sam. Ryan, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Glocks Emma, what's up? How's it going? Epic Potato Chip, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rigo. How are you?
Hello, Steph. What's up? How you doing? Kellen, how are you? XD, what's up? Oh man, there's a lot of people here. The Gaming Flower, hello. Hello, Bobby. Okay, I think that's everybody.
Rigo, aren't you going to tell them the list?
Say hello to Megan, jeez.
Oh, that reminds me, guys. So I made a list for all of you of what exactly we're going to talk, because it's very important that everybody knows exactly what we're talking about and how we're going to talk about it. Give me 1 second here. Let me see.
Rigo, you're lower than us now, apparently.
Just where I like it.
It's
Megan, I say hey to you. Even though Rigo won't say hi to Megan, everyone else but Megan. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan. Okay, so here's the list, guys, of today's topics. Let's go ahead and let me open it up here. Okay, First thing on the board, here we go. Number 1, Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Jesse.
Number 2, how awesome is Resident Evil 2 Remake look? Number 3, who's excited for Resident Evil 2 Remake? Number 4, how awesome is it that Resident Evil 2 Remake comes out in January? Number 5, how better is Resident Evil 2 Remake than Smash Bros? Number 6, who thinks that Resident Evil 2 Remake is beautiful? Number 7, how about we talk about Resident Evil and forget about everybody else? And number 8, Chadley's beard.
Perfect. Those are awesome conversation topics.
Great topics.
There it
Which
is.
will be
There's a topic of the
DLC
day.
in Resident Evil 2.
That'll fill our 2 hours real easily.
Right,
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes on Resident Evil, the rest on Chadley's beard.
So,
Good plan.
but yeah, so it looks like Halo 5, that little teaser got people all ramped up and everything. I don't know what to say because it was like an outside view. You didn't really see much. It was just him standing there and the car driving by. Well, not the car, but what do you call it? Whatever that.
The Warthog.
Yeah, Warthog driving by. There was really not much to see. I don't know.
I mean, it's nice to know something's in the works. Hopefully, it's not a big flop like the last one was. We'll see what happens though.
Right?
I like the last one.
Definitely. Xbox really needed something to show off at E3. I think they pretty much did it with Halo because everybody was anticipating a Halo 6 for Microsoft to show off, and well, there we have it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Gears of War 5. That was shown,
Heck
that
yeah.
trailer. What do you guys think? I mean,
I can't wait for the little MOBA, to be honest. The little pop
Yeah,
figure
because
MOBA.
they announced a couple of spin-off games too while they were at it.
yeah, they did, yeah.
The gear pop. Oh man, did you guys hear the audience when that popped up? That was hysterical when it was like the Gears of War symbol, and then the pop people pop up, and everybody's like, "Oh!" They totally were like, "It's Gears. It's totally Gears," and it wasn't. And then it was, and then they were all super shocked. It
They
was
got
awesome.
slapped in the face. Hey, Spanish dude, I played with you, and my name is. Oh, okay. Hello. How's it going?
Well, hello.
Wow. Don't
Okay,
yell.
which beard would win? Oh, they're asking Chadley versus Ryukar. Which beard would win?
Oh, boy.
Chadley.
Oh,
Chadley.
boy.
The gloves are coming off.
Yeah, that's not the first time his beard has been brought up in the conversation.
Welcome to the family. Thank you for subscribing. That's funny.
You're welcome to sub.
Right? New subs here. Well, no, I don't know. Like, I enjoyed number 4. It wasn't. I never finished it, to be honest. I can't say that I did finish it.
Oh,
But I enjoyed it. But I hope they go back to what Gears was like. I remember number 1 was dark. It was heavy, and very like the co-op play was amazing. So I'm hoping that number 5 goes back to that type of feel.
Well, that's usually how good games start off. I mean, take Dragon Age, for example. You had Origins, which was really dark, story heavy. Then you had 2, which was meh.
Yeah.
Compared
we don't
to
talk about
2.
2.
Exactly. We don't talk about 2. Then you had Inquisition, or 3, which was a bit better, but still not
I liked
the
the
Oh,
same
man.
feel.
Alana
loved
better not be
it.
watching. Alana is like obsessed with Inquisition. My girlfriend, she's obsessed with Inquisition.
I like
I
Inquisition.
honestly loved it. It's a lot better than 2, but
I never played 2, but
it's just to show off that first games that start off as dark and good and story heavy can turn out a little more. It's
yeah,
alright.
it seems like they start off with like, I want to tell this awesome story, and then they start selling out towards what's going to sell more games rather than my story that I want to tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Okay. Okay. Shadow died twice. We saw that on the Xbox. It looked amazing. We're talking about Japanese feel. It has that feel of Dark Souls, and it's from Software. So it looks like it's gonna be heavy duty boss based, just like Dark Souls. Did you guys see the trailer for that? When you
I did
guys
not.
watched it?
No.
What?
I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Oh,
I didn't
I'm
have a
so
chance to see it.
disappointed. Oh, that game looks amazing. I'm a huge Dark Souls fan though, so for me, it looks like Dark Souls with like super speed, like because you have a grappling hook that you can like fly across the world with, so it's gonna like speed up the motion way more. But it looks like it still has the gigantic bosses that you fight in Dark Souls and everything. So I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Definitely.
I like the Japanese feel to it. That's what I enjoyed, the Japanese feel. It seems like we're going, because we go. It looks like every year they go through this like era type thing. We had the zombies, we had the knights, and now it looks like they want to go to that Japanese area. We're getting a lot of Japanese feel games, And that's what I feel. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me, but that's how it feels. But definitely the trailer was shown, and I was kind of blown. I was definitely blown out of the water.
Yeah,
that
it looked really nice. It had really nice graphics.
It did, you know, and kind of it wanted me to play more because, I mean, you only see the trailer where the guy gets his arm chopped off, and then he has this wooden arm that all of a sudden works, you know. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
I guess you guys didn't see it either.
Nope.
That's okay. That's okay. All right, Jump Force.
Okay, there's one I have nothing to say about.
So,
I like the concept, but I don't think I'll play it.
Well, I'm definitely not gonna play it.
so when you say you like the concept, did you ever play? What was the other one called? Jump Stars or whatever? Is that what it was?
I think it was where they had a bunch of the Shonen Jump characters all
Yeah.
together in one battle.
It's I feel like it's kind of like the next evolution of that. And Goku.
All they did was pretty much just throw it in real life towns. Like you could be in New York City and actually like see the fight happen. And I don't know, it has very limited appeal to someone who has, just someone who has a background in anime, doing a lot of stuff like that. I can relate to it. I'm like, oh yeah, I would love to fight with someone as Goku or like Frieza. But at the same time, depending on the fighting style of the game, it seems like it's almost gonna be like a DBZ kind of game.
Okay, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna work, because I want to see them bring something new, since it's gonna be something that's squished. Because each franchise has their own games. Naruto has their own games. One Piece has their own games. They need to be able to adapt those three kinds of games into that kind of fighting style, because each of them have their own fighting element. That way, it's going to be a little more comfortable.
Yes, I know exactly what you're. Yes. The only thing that kind of got me hyped was the ending where they showed. Oh my goodness, the guy from Death Note.
Yeah.
The two guys from Death Note.
Wait, someone from Death Note's in it?
Yeah, they showed their shadow at the very end. Like the very last scene.
He's like, well, if I wasn't gonna play it before, I am now.
That's the only thing that caught me. I was like, that's cool. I wonder what he would fight like. I mean, is there gonna be more anime characters besides what we already know?
Oh, I'm sure.
We know, you know.
I'm
One
sure.
Punch Man.
I would like to see One Punch Man in that. I would like to see One Punch Man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I know what you're saying, Epic, for sure. Like, there's a lot of. We can't just be a brawler like DBZ, right? Like thrown out.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Because again, like you said, Epic. Naruto has their own type of style which I really enjoy. You know. So we'll see. I guess. I only saw a little bit of gameplay that they showed, and it looked really beat 'em up type. Switch characters on the go type thing.
Yeah.
But. Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it.
I will say it looked beautiful.
It did look beautiful. I was gonna say that. It looks beautiful, but I'm not really like excited for it.
I am.
Well, it looks beautiful. Do they still use cell shading, or do they have something else for that kind of animation?
I think I'm more excited for Ori than for Jump Force.
I don't know if it's still cell shading for that one.
It looked like cell shading. It was like a mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mix. It was weird. It was like that what was that game called? Akuma,
the dog one.
The one about a god that was on the Xbox 360, and he had like a bunch of fists that he could punch.
And he had no arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Akuma.
That's the one. It looked like that. It had that kind of art style.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I thought it looked cool.
Yeah,
but not my type of game.
Yeah, exactly. Not like I'm dying to have it, but I definitely check it out. We got a demo. I definitely check it out. Why not, right?
Yeah, I would try.
Have a good night, Gasbox. Okay, Tales of. Oh man, I'm gonna trash this.
Vesperia, come on, you got this.
Is it Vesperia?
So
We're doing another
Tales of
Vesperia?
remastered.
I have waited for this day for so long, and especially since it's going to be on the Switch as well. Yeah, that makes all the difference.
Yeah.
I own it digitally on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But I can't play it because I don't have a 360 anymore, and it's not that compatible on the Xbox One yet. So I haven't been able to play it.
If I had my Philly Spawn button for that, I would push it.
What was great is this is not the Xbox 360 version. This is the PS3 port version, the Japanese exclusive with like extra voices and extra characters and such. So that's actually really exciting to me. I'm really glad.
I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea what game that was. I had to look it up. I never even heard of the game until you brought it up. I was like, what?
Oh, the
I
Tales
have
series
heard
is
of it. It looks
magnificent.
cool. I've never played them though. I've heard they're phenomenal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are.
That's
As
the
a
only thing I've
series,
heard of. They're good. The story.
So
was
I'm
good.
curious though, Corey, are they going to implement some kind of online play? Because since you guys don't know how it works, it's pretty much you have an open world, semi-open world, and whenever you encounter a boss or a mob, it's always on the right of the screen, and you have they ended up evolving it throughout the ages, but it started with side scrolling to the left and right that you can just have open combat, and now it's its own open field.
Well, okay.
So I'm wondering if they can implement. If
I
can
don't
connect
think
to
they're.
Corey
I
or
don't
not.
think they're doing any of that. I think it's just remastering. I mean, it would be a lot to make it online because even the newer ones don't have an online system to them. You can play co-op locally, but they don't like all the PS4 ones and stuff. They don't do online. So I don't see why they would do that on a 15-year-old or whatever game it is now.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be cool, but I don't think it'll happen. Yeah.
I mean, everything would be cool, but how
It's just
often
not a
would it be
feature
cool?
that I expect. Yeah.
For sure. But overall, I think Xbox had a pretty good conference overall. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought they did a really good job. They definitely brought up more games than how they did it last year, where it was like, oh, you can do this with the Xbox, you can do that with the Xbox,
Yeah.
and it's like no games, just you can do that.
Yeah,
you
it
can
was
do
more
this.
about the Xbox than.
I especially like their motto for this year. It plays best on Xbox.
Yeah, it plays
Yeah.
best on Xbox. I will say though, I am really excited to see what they're gonna do with all the new companies they bought.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So having so many
All
new
four of
developers.
those companies,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
What did they buy?
They bought the
A
guys.
lot.
Yeah, they bought 5, I think.
It was
Um,
five.
I think it was
thought
5,
It was
yeah.
5.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 5. They bought the guys that made State of Decay.
Yep.
Of course, they got the guys from Forza, but that's kind of they were already there pretty much.
Yeah, but they
Um,
officially bought them now.
Yeah,
so,
they officially bought them.
That's first party now.
They bought the guy who's making that Fox game. Did they buy him as well?
I thought
The what?
so.
Yeah, it's like a Zelda style game with a little
Yeah,
fox as the lead
It's
character.
called Tunic, and it's
Yeah.
something Zelda.
Oh yeah. They bought that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember who else they bought, but I'm excited to see if now that these companies will have more money because they are now first party, if they're going to start bringing out
Oh, absolutely.
stuff.
They're going to be better supported for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that the quality of the games will definitely be higher.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think it's a little too late for Microsoft now, but hopefully
Mhm.
this will at least give them some kind of a comeback, at least to
We'll give them a leg to
relevant.
stand on for a little while.
yeah, at least
exactly.
be relevant for the next console. That's another thing with the next console.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they kind of said something at the end of there, right? That they have big plans, including their console and blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So they're already teasing at a new console
Yeah, well,
possibly.
I think that's why they kind of overdid it with the amount of games they announced because of that, to make
Mhm.
sure that they have a place for the next generation of consoles.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I think is that they're
Yeah.
trying to come out swinging so they stay relevant. So when the next consoles come out, they're still gonna be there.
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
I don't know if it's
Exactly.
enough, but hopefully it's enough.
For sure, for sure. Hey Jesse, how you doing, buddy?
Okay.
Well, at least
Yeah, Jesse.
Microsoft is making friends, so
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
for
I mean,
Sony,
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So Bethesda did theirs. They did a pretty good job, I feel. Bethesda. Fallout. There was a lot announced on Fallout. I was very surprised. I mean, that online play.
it was expected though. It was expected to.
Yeah,
have
it
the
definitely
Fallout
was.
one.
Yeah, it was. I guess so. I'm not. You know what? I've never been a Fallout fan. I'm not gonna lie and say I did. I'm a Fallout fan, but I'm definitely not a Fallout fan. But this one kind of intrigued me to test it out, to go back and take a look at Fallout.
Well, because of this one, I bought Fallout 4 to see what it's all about because I never played it myself. So I
Yeah.
bought Fallout 4. I got to play it because I want to get
That's
more
so
into the
good.
game and know what 64 is about.
Well,
No.
it's also really
76.
different. They're changing the formula for 76 altogether. It's
Yeah.
online multiplayer. This isn't. the
It's an
same-
online survival multiplayer, which
Right,
is,
but there's also no single campaign,
yeah.
Yeah.
which a lot of people are mad about. Because whenever you have like a formula and then you divert from the formula, it's like you're gonna have your fans that hate it,
Yeah.
and you're gonna have your fans that love it.
Yeah,
Sure,
I
I
mean,
agree with you, yes.
going
Yeah.
back to the beginning list that we had, Resident Evil.
Resident
what
Evil,
happened
yeah.
with Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Because they diverted so much and everybody hated it. Now they've gone back somewhat with number 7. People are so happy. So I don't know about Fallout. I'm like my brother. I'm not a big fan of it. It's like Skyrim. It's just never been my thing. If I like RPGs, I'm gonna mostly go to Japanese RPGs rather than Western RPGs. But hearing what they're saying about Fallout 76, I'm interested in trying it. It seems like it's a cool, different idea. So the downside is they're kind of alienating their hardcore followers. The upside I see is, for me, that's not a fan. They're kind of attracting me. So hopefully they'll make a bigger community without fully alienating their original community.
Right.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, again, it interests me because now, are we gonna? They said it was open, right? So is it gonna be like one of those things where you have to invite each other, or if Epic's playing and I'm playing, I just kind of, where are you located? And then he tells me, and I show up, and you're there.
Well, there's the party system that they're going to have, and they already said that the servers are going to be a lot tinier. It's not going to be something massive like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft, where you'll have hundreds of thousands of people. It's going to be, I think they're even talking about really small, like 16 to 32 people. Yeah.
I remember hearing something like that. Like I heard something in like in the 20s, so something fairly well constrained. Which then leads the question of what kind of gameplay is there going to be if there's not really a single player story and there's not a whole bunch of players out there.
Yeah.
And my main concern is when you have that little amount of people, how long is it going to be until the nuclear warfare starts happening? Because that's what everyone's main concern is. With Fallout, you've always been able to build shelters, build towns, like especially in 4, you've been able to build tons of towns all over the wasteland, and they can farm for you, they can reproduce energy, they can do everything. And if you have somebody who gets mad at you one day, is it gone forever?
No, that's true.
Or does it come back? Because that's a lot of work.
That's true. I agree with you. Yes, indeed.
Well,
Doom
maybe
Eternal.
they are going to do. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go. Finish.
Maybe they're going to do something like Blizzard is wanting to do in their upcoming expansion of World of Warcraft, like war zones. That's where at one point you can control as your faction there. One piece of land at one point, and some kind of PvP kind of style. Then you have to take from the opposite faction. You have to take get the resources to take that point, and that keeps switching around. But it doesn't affect the overall experience of your character. It's just some little on the side PvE kind of stuff. So maybe they're going to implement something on that side. Who knows? But I would hate to see that if somebody nukes you, it'd be gone forever. Because you put a lot of time and effort in it, and people are just going to rage quit and be like, you know what? Bye.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do.
I know I would. It's like, what's that game? Ark, Survival Evolved.
Yeah.
Oh, man, when my stuff gets destroyed by, like, just even the NPC dinosaurs, it's like, I'm done. I don't want to do this. I spent 3 hours just to get leveled up enough to do this. I don't want to spend another 3 hours to go back.
And you don't want people to quit your game. You want you want them to stay playing your game, because that's why you do it. So you don't want to rage quit people. So it'd be stupid for them if everything would be like gone.
Yep. No. Yeah.
I guess we'll just have to all get it and start forming teams so no one nukes us.
We're gonna make watches every like 4 hours. One of us is gonna be on.
That's right.
Destiny.
Jeez.
Oh, jeez. I mean, the concept, it's interesting. Like, but yeah, it'd be cool that, well, if you want to nuke someone, you have to go into the PvP area, and then you're gonna have to do this and do this and do this, and then you can nuke them. Like a big type thing before you can actually do it.
Yeah, and maybe you could like join factions, and like it would be a smart idea to have like factions, and then there's permanent bases for these factions.
Yeah.
So that you always have something that can't be destroyed, and then you have your outside world where you can build and whatever.
Something like guild housing.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So, Doom Eternal, that was announced. Did you guys ever play Doom, the first Doom, 2016?
I haven't beaten it, but I definitely
played the first Doom back in the, what was it, the 90s?
You said
So that's the first Doom for me, so after that, not so much.
Yeah, I've only played the older DOS Dooms back in the day, but I mean, I've watched Rigo play the 2016 Doom. I guess is that the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's a really good
I'm
one.
still waiting for the copy that somebody was supposed to send me for my birthday 3 months ago. I had a random viewer pop in, and they're like, "I'm gonna send it to you for your birthday. I already bought it and everything. It's on its way." I'm still waiting.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna stream it.
There you go. Doom was so it was shown. We got to see buildings, cities. It looks like what they're doing is they're bringing hell to Earth now. Something that everybody was bugging about. I guess what we want to know is, are we gonna start in hell and then do we work our way up? And is the guy you used in Doom 2016 the same character? Because this one they showed his armor was all broken. He looked like he was been fighting for a while. You know, because at the end of the game of 16, cover your ears if you haven't played it. But at the end of
Wait, hold on. I'm taking off my headset. Okay, go.
Oh yeah, that doesn't
Give us a thumbs up when you're ready.
Like
Okay.
everybody.
At the end of 16, you destroy everything, and you stay in hell. So that's what happens at the end of it. There you go. There's a thumbs up.
Well, you see, that reminds me of like regular Doom, though.
Awesome.
And then he keeps talking about it, and we're like, no.
But yeah, so like
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really tease much. It just showed. They did say there's a lot more demons going on. So like, I know that in 2016 they got rid of like oh my goodness, I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I just had it and I forgot it. Anyways, he summons. He revives monsters. He's this big, ugly, alien-looking guy.
Spoiler alert.
I don't remember his name. Anyways, they took him away in 2016. He was in Doom 2. So he took him away and added another monster to it. So people were saying that they're probably gonna re-add him to that side. But again, I mean, it was just a quick little teaser. We got a little taste of it. I'm excited for it. I mean,
Yeah, I think it'll be cool because the last one was a huge success. So I don't see this one failing. It even got me excited for it. Like I have the original. I have Doom 2016 on my Xbox. Just never played through it, not for any negative reason. But I know what I did play was really fun, so I'm assuming this is going to be awesome too.
Hey, action-packed, why not?
Mhm.
Right? Sometimes you just need a good shoot 'em up that way. Just hop on and shoot everything in the world.
Yeah.
Same with Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
Kill everything.
Exactly. Just blow stuff up.
Yeah.
They're calling me a dork in the chat.
Hey,
Hey, that's me.
Aw.
Ban. We're getting banned.
ban.
No.
You guys don't have to point it out.
Come down on the haters with Ragnar.
Elder Scroll.
You miss Rage.
Oh,
Elder
I-
How could you miss
Scrolls
Rage?
I mean, what can you really
Rage,
say about
Rage.
Elder
Yeah,
Scrolls?
thank you.
It was like 7-second preview, and it's coming. It's like what they did last year with Metroid. Which,
Yeah, with Elder
where was
Scrolls.
Metroid?
More importantly, where's Yoshi?
Okay, wait.
We're getting
off topic
ahead
here.
of
on,
ourselves.
we gotta go
We're getting ahead of
for our
ourselves.
We're gonna get there.
All right, Rage. So they showed. Okay, hold on. Bethesda.
We're talking
opened-
Rage 2, right? Not Rage.
Yeah,
Rage
Rage
2.
2.
Rage 2.
Rage 2. So Bethesda opened in the weirdest way I've ever seen anything open, and they showed up with this rock star group that I guess wrote the music for Rage, or at least the intro for them. I mean, I thought that was it was cringy. I think that's the word.
It was so awkward. I think that wins the cringe award for the whole show. At least for me, it did. Like I had to take a screenshot. I tweeted it and everything because you could see the audience was so not into
I
it.
saw
They
that.
didn't
I
know
saw
who they
that.
were
Where the
either.
audience was like,
Yeah.
One guy was like, they were rocking out, and all you see is. He just puts his headphones on, and it's like, oh boy, what did you do?
Now, did you guys play Rage 1?
no.
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 See, I did, and it was a huge disappointment. The art style was really cool. The game, it kind of did like the carrot on the stick type thing, where it was always leading you forward that you wanted to find out what was happening, and then it just stopped. So it was very disappointing in the way of like, it felt like you just played the intro of a story. Like you never got any kind of closure for anything.
Kind of like Battlefront's 2 story, huh?
Yeah.
Started off good, and then it's like.
Yeah, and that's how this pretty much was. Like it felt like it was something like I would picture Fallout being, but more action oriented, and then it just kind of ended. Like it literally felt like you were in the middle of the story and it just stopped. So for
I
me,
hate when
Rage
that
2
happens.
was the game that nobody asked for. Like it was one of those. The last one was such a disappointment that I don't even want this one.
Exactly. That's what I was hearing. Like, who was like, this is a good idea.
Yeah, they all sat in an office, and one person said, "This is a good idea," and everybody else went, "Yes, you are right."
But we can't, yeah.
Facepalm button.
No, and you know what? It's true though, because like it's like Louis said, the game you played it all the way, you got to the ending, and it was like they showed this cutscene and zoomed up, And then all of a sudden the credits started, and you're like, wait. Did I miss the ending?
Yeah, it's like, what did I miss? Like, I don't understand what just happened. Like, we haven't unlocked anything.
Right?
Well, wasn't it an open world game too?
It was an
I'm
open
sorry.
world
Yeah.
game too. Yeah. No, it was.
No, you're an open world game.
Yeah, it wasn't done very
Yeah,
well. It
maybe.
was-
Sorry, could not pass that one up.
Epic's an open world game confirmed.
Confirmed.
Come play me. What?
He's my open world game.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, that was the rage, the ragiest. That was the cringiest game out of all the E3 stuff for me. Like, just it was bad. It was bad.
Mm-hmm. No, I
Yeah,
thought, I don't know what they were
thought
going with that.
Ubisoft's what was it called again? I forgot. It was Ubisoft, right? Or wasn't it?
It was Bethesda.
No.
No.
What that crashing game on the motorcycle? I thought that was
Oh,
better performed than the Rage.
Yeah, the guy who rode
I'm
up and
trying to
crashed
look
his
for
bike.
what it was.
So, like Road Rash or something? No.
No, I think it was Trials, wasn't it?
Oh, Trial.
Yeah,
well, that
Trials
was
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
guy
there you
walked
go,
up and
yeah.
smashed the whole podium and everything.
Oh.
Trials
Yeah.
Rising.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
less cringy.
Thank you. Even that was less cringy than Rage.
Ah, rage.
Many things were less.
The craziness.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, that's funny. Okay, PlayStation conference.
What?
What was that? Gesundheit, or were you laughing?
You can't call a 30-minute meeting a conference. That's like 4 or 5 people going and having lunch.
Well, I mean,
That's what E3 was for Sony this year.
Square Enix was just as bad.
Oh, I know that
See,
was
and-
really bad.
And this is where I'm torn. Everybody says PlayStation was bad. I didn't think PlayStation's was that bad.
I didn't think so
Everything
either.
that they put out was beautiful.
Yeah, I don't think
missed
the
everything
content
about
was
the
bad.
E3.
Same thing with Square Enix. I don't think the content was bad. I just think that it was a poorly done E3 presentation. You
It was
put like,
poorly performed.
for instance, I know, and this is going a little off topic, but Square Enix, they did 30 minutes of trailers. That's it. One trailer in particular was like 7 seconds long.
Yeah, I remember.
The Octopath. I mean, okay. Anyway, sorry. We'll go back to. I just as a thought of that one. But yeah,
I will say that guy with the flute, that was very close to the rage awkwardness.
Yeah, that was true.
yep.
Last of Us 2 was shown, so I mean, we got a quick little video. We saw some gameplay. What do you guys think? Are you
Some
excited?
gameplay.
Yeah.
I
What do
mean,
you what? Have you guys heard of this whole controversy about who was it?
Ellie?
It was another video game maker who like pointed out that it wasn't real gameplay and then deleted the tweet right away because he was like embarrassed at what he just said.
I didn't hear about that.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't see that.
somebody tweeted like Last of Us 2 had some awesome gameplay. Then somebody else put gameplay in quotes and then put fake. And then he deleted it. And he was one of the other guys that was at E3, like one of the other game developers. He was like the president of one of the game developer companies, and he deleted it and everything. With the whole thing of like him saying that you can't make a game look as good as Last of Us looked. So that was like all over because I mean it's a pretty immature. I mean if you think it's fake, you think it's fake, but
It's
don't go out and
pretty
tweet it.
immature.
Man.
That's just outright jealousy.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
And that's
for
one of
sure.
the things that people are saying. They're like, okay, whether it's true or not, like whether the video footage is real or not, that's just him saying, I couldn't get it to work, so obviously you can't
Yeah.
do it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they're always notorious for having videos and gameplays that look way too real, you know, and they have exposed them in the past. Sometimes it was on their computer, but at the same time, this was on a console. But at the same time, again, that particular scenes that they went through are also lower rendered scenes.
Yeah.
Whenever you're going to
Yeah.
have something that's in a bigger atmosphere, it's not going to look that beautiful. That's just how it is. It was a dark scene. It was enclosed.
Mm.
You know, there wasn't that much going on. Of course, it's going to be beautiful. They could
Yeah.
do that on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, they did it on the Wii U with Xenoblade Chronicles X. I don't mean to bring up Nintendo. I'm just saying,
Yeah, no, you're
it's
giving
all about
example
your
for
render. You know.
My 15-minute timer didn't go off yet.
Because we haven't
No,
hit
but
the big one.
I'm really looking forward to Last of Us 2. It is one of my most anticipated games ever since I played the first one, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Can't wait.
For sure, you know what?
I'm dying to know what happens after.
And I-
Especially
just no spoilers because I still haven't played it.
Okay.
no spoilers,
I
especially
feel.
after the end and you go through the entire story. I just gotta know what happens next. You just gotta know.
Now,
Stewie says your mic's too low still, Rigo, but I don't know if any.
My mic is still low. Still
That's
low?
what Ugly Stewie just said. He said, Rigo, turn your mic up.
I'm excited for it too, though, Chris, because I'm playing through it right now, and it's so much fun.
Yeah,
I
I
wish I would've
played
played it
the
before.
first like 4 hours, and it's amazing.
For sure.
I'm
For
selling
sure.
it in my new series After Dark, so we can be a little bit more nasty. Because you cannot play The Last of Us while being family friendly. That's just
it's hard. It's hard. No, that game is
It
definitely
is hard.
hard.
Strawberry jam.
No, like are we focusing more on what's her name again? I forgot her name. Ellie.
Ellie.
Are we focusing more on her in this story, or are we gonna be playing as both? I mean, they haven't shown Joel yet.
No, they only showed Allie gameplay, but I think the first teaser trailer that we had in the wooden shack, Allie playing the guitar. I
remember that.
What we saw as gameplay, or at least the scene where she kissed that girl.
Yeah,
I think
that
comes
girl.
after. Yeah, indeed. Oh my gosh, she kissed the girl.
Well,
She liked it.
I don't want to say anything because of spoilers for Retro, but that was kind of.
That was.
I've
just
heard that much. I've
right.
heard that it's like, did you guys play the other game? Like that's
Right.
what I've heard. So I don't know what it is, but
that was shown. It's publicly known. Retro can look it up, and it's not. It has nothing to do with the story. But I think in that shack, I think the story comes after that scene, because what I make out of that is something happens when she's still living in the town with all the people and with her girlfriend and the guy and whatever. I think the story only happens like after that scene where she plays the guitar.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
she
Yeah.
says, "I'm gonna kill every last one of them," because that's all you saw, that's all you heard.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, look, Epic Potatoes streaming right now.
What?
Oh wow!
I am?
Yeah, look at the stream. You'll see it says right there. New Epic Potato Super Mario Maker viewer levels.
Live now.
Who's an imposter?
No, I agree. Like I'm that's why I'm excited to see where we're going to. I mean, the ending was great for the first one, and then you jump into this one. What's happening with this one? You know, what do we?
yeah, I
looking
gotta
at?
say, whether or not that was real gameplay, even if it's not gonna be night and day. Like when they make this big deal of how games look in trailers, like the one that they're making number 2 for right now starts with a D. They're gonna add raids to it, and it's about like it was in New York and now it's gonna be in Washington.
The Division.
Oh,
The Division.
Hmm.
You know, it didn't look as good as the first gameplay they showed, but it wasn't like you're going from Xbox 360 to PS4. Like it wasn't night and day difference. So with this game, I think even if it's not as good as it looks in the clips, it's still going to be one of the best looking games to come out.
Miguel says Ellie looks ugly in the trailer, in my opinion. I feel that the reason why they had to change her up is first all that fight they did with Ellen Page. Is it Ellen Page? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, all that fight that she caused when the first one came out, I think they're trying to drift away to not make her look that way anymore. I mean, that's how I feel. I mean, at the same time, you have to make her look older.
You shouldn't forget, she's also older, so
Yeah.
she changes. I mean, we all changed. I went from super happy, pretty good looking kid to this ugly mug, so I went downhill.
I mean, we all can't be blessed like Chadley and get an epic beard and look super handsome.
Exactly.
I'll just never get rid of it. Then I'll
Potato
be
chip
all right.
with the full head of hair. Like not all of us have the full head of hair.
Yeah. If I would let my beard grow, I would have a beard like Epic Potato Chip after like 2 years.
This is 2 years.
I could shave this off tonight, and have this back by next week.
Oh my god.
That's nice.
This is me not shaving in over a week. This is over a week of not shaving.
This is me after
Epic
one
Potato
day.
Chip. Epic Potato Chip is me after a week.
Jin Mario, it's all over. It's not just Nintendo. It's gonna be all of E3 right now. We're going through a list. Nintendo is on here, but we're not there yet. We haven't reached it yet, so don't worry.
We still have Sony, which we are now, and then
Believe me,
Ubisoft.
Nintendo ends up getting a big part of the spotlight.
Yeah, that's why we're going through all this first, because then we're gonna be on Nintendo for a long time.
No.
Meanwhile, Chadley hasn't shaved in an hour.
Sorry, guys. I need to stand up and shave real quick.
It reminds me of what is it on the Santa Claus?
Oh,
And he like shaves,
yeah.
it's like
Okay, so
his beard gives him power.
I have a question about this one. Dragon Quest 11, is that like
Oh yes.
is that a PS4 exclusive, like a Sony exclusive?
No.
No.
Or is that like
I don't think so.
No.
because I've always just seen it on PlayStation, like always just commercials on PlayStation. That's why I was always asking. Anyways,
Well,
Well,
as I
yes.
showed earlier, I have Dragon Quest 2 for the Game Boys.
okay. Oh yeah, that's right. You showed
Yeah,
me that.
they've definitely done a lot of Nintendo. I don't think they've ever done Xbox.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's definitely been between Nintendo and PlayStation and all.
Yeah.
I do not. One of them is 9 or is one of them that's coming is going to be on like PS4 and also 3DS.
I
Mhm.
think that's 11.
Is it 11? Because I didn't see anything. I haven't seen anything about the 3DS version from E3 or from like being able to order it and stuff.
Let me check that, because I was watching Wikipedia for earlier.
Okay.
Let's see.
Because the cool thing with the 3DS one is that like the top screen is going to be like
Let's see. It
like
says here,
PS4 graphics, not really, but like good graphics, and then the bottom is going to be like 8-bit graphics, basically, or 16, or what you know what I mean? Not really, but like the retro like graphic.
Mm-hmm. But
let's
yeah,
see, it
so
says here,
Dragon
development for Quest 11 started in 2013. And initially, the team considered to making it fully open world, decided against it as it led to issues telling its story. PlayStation 4, Microsoft Windows, and Nintendo Switch versions feature high definition graphics using the Unreal Engine 4. And here
Switch
is
hype?
something about Switch hype, definitely.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh man,
Almost
got me
there.
excited.
In April 2017, Square Enix held a special presentation for the game where they with a release date for PlayStation 4 and 3DS versions of the
Okay.
game were revealed to be July 29th, 2017.
Oh,
Same month, Sony,
Oh, so it came out
and
last year.
Nintendo unveiled special editions for the PlayStation 4 Slim and Nintendo 2DS XL hardware for Japan to tie into the game. So, by the looks of it, it should be out on 3DS already.
no. Clearly, it's not.
Clearly.
Yeah, it's
Unless
a
they just
lie.
slip that in. They're
Fake
like,
news.
oh, by the way, Fortnite's
Fake
free
news.
in Dragon Quest.
I'd sooner see Fortnite on the 3DS, but
Fortnite on 3D.
So yeah, I'm super excited for Dragon Quest 11.
Yeah, go
I've
ahead.
never played any Dragon Quest. I've heard that they're really, really good. Where was I looking? I was looking on somewhere where they had them on like for fairly cheap, and I almost bought some, and then I changed my mind. But I hear they're awesome.
I've never played them. I hear they're fantastic.
I suggest that you start with Dragon Quest 8.
Okay.
It's my favorite personally. And look, even Derek said I've only played 8, but I loved it. There's a lot of really good ones. Like the series is great as a whole. Personally, 8 to me is obviously the most modernized one. It feels like the most modernized turn-based RPG. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's a really good game. And if you get a chance to play it, because I think I think you can play it on PS4. I think they released it on there. Plus, it's on like iPhones and junk. And
That's where I saw it. It was on mobile. I
Yeah,
was looking through
yeah.
mobile games, looking for RPGs, and I saw it there.
Everything's going on mobile.
yeah, Derek,
Yeah.
you know, you're right. It might be the first one that was Dragon Quest instead of Warrior.
Yeah, see, and I played Dragon Quest Builders, the demo, and that was
Okay.
really fun.
Yep. But yeah, very excited for that.
Mhm.
The trailer looks
looking forward to
fantastic.
it.
It looked really nice. You know, it kind of got me hyped, and I've never played them. I mean,
I must admit, the last one I played was the Game Boy version.
Yeah, I gotta try them. I gotta try
I think
them.
it's easy to jump into those because like the art style is so iconic.
Mhm.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z. Hype.
If you don't look at one of the characters and you're like, "That's Bulma," something's wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what drew me
Goku is your
into it.
main character. In Dragon Quest 8, you can go Super
Exactly.
Saiyan. I mean, let's just
As long as it's Vegeta, cool.
Right?
Tony's
Let's just throw it
Goku,
out there.
yeah,
Let's just throw it
Vegeta.
out there. What was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. Okay, so quick. I just saw here on chat, people were asking about Taco Bucks. I disabled them for this stream, guys. because we're chatting up, and I want to see your questions. So I want to be able to answer them, and it'd be really hard with Taco Bank doing his thing too. So that way, for me to see your questions and try to answer them, if you have questions for us, it won't be mixed up with Taco Bank. So that's why it's disabled right now.
Yeah, it's one stream. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. It won't damage anything. And again, if you guys have questions, go ahead and throw them in. I'll be reading them out as much as I can, okay?
Sir Nigel.
Sorry, Sir Nigel.
You know what, Leanna?
Right?
I know, what a cool fan he has next to him.
Oh man, I had to do the same thing in my old apartment, so I feel you, Epic. I feel you.
Sometimes, like in between stream breaks, I'll like put my face into it and pretend like I'm Rose from Titanic.
I was playing
and you think
Sea
of
of
me
Thieves,
behind
and
you,
I was
right?
doing that on the boat.
You just Rigo's just holding.
I'm on top of the world.
I'll only let you drown once, Jack.
Jesse, that's not nice. Don't ask us. That's a loaded question, Jesse.
Rigo, who's your favorite streamer? Wow.
Wow.
Clearly, it's Jesse.
Yeah, it's Jesse.
Clearly.
Jesse's my favorite streamer. He's the best. That's funny.
So what about this Ghost of Tsushima?
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh,
I have not heard of this at all.
Oh
No,
man,
me
you have to
neither.
look it up. It is
Nope.
beautiful
It
looking.
looks amazing. I was probably one of the people who was like, "That's fake," because it looks too good.
It
I
looked
know it looks
amazing.
phenomenal.
It looks
It
amazing.
looks phenomenal. Oh,
Is
that
it-
game looks so. Ah,
At
Going
first,
by
I thought it was
title,
Way of the
It's
Samurai.
another Japanese style game.
yep. But
Like,
oh,
it's great.
and
Okay,
the violence in it, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. I'm really
Is it
excited
like-
for it.
Is it
Like
like
all the-
God of War 1, 2, 3 Ascension violence?
No,
It's just
no,
more
no.
realistic. Like it's because God of War is like over the top cartoony violence.
Yeah.
This
true.
looks like realistic, like chopping guys' arms off because you're a samurai, right? And you just
But
see
in
like
the same
blood
kind of-
spurting out and
Realistic in the same kind of way.
It looked like For Honor, but way more attention to the art.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
the
Like,
combat
they
style
call it
for
For
For Honor was-
Dishonor.
Yeah. Like there was this whole scene with like the guy fighting the girl, and you can see like the flowers falling in the background and the light shimmering off the trees, and it looked like I told my brother we were joking around during work that it looked like, you know, in Kirby when they do the samurai mini game where
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
it counts down and you push a
Yeah.
button and they attack each other. It's like the most realistic version of that because they're just sitting there ready to fight, and you see these roses in the background just falling. It looked amazing, or cherry blossoms it must have been. But it looked amazing. The game looks really, really beautiful.
It does. It does. And you know what? Like, I really enjoyed how it was. Again, the colors were very vibrant. It was really focused on the colors. Like the colors really drew me, and I was like, wow, like that's a lot. That's a lot. And I did. I know they interviewed the creators of the game, and it did say like that one scene where the actual gameplay was showing. They said it was true that that's how it's running because there's not a lot of things going on at that scene, that they were able to pull out more, but it was gonna kind of go up and down depending on where you are and what's going on. Like it's gonna be what's the word when like it's
The bird.
What?
The bird is the word. Bird is the word.
Where it's
Corey,
where it
I'm glad you're
switches,
here.
where it switches in resolutions. Like one spot is this, but another spot is this. So I guess they're gonna do that.
Oh,
with the game.
dynamic resolution or whatever?
Yes, there's gonna be dynamic
Yeah.
graphic. They said.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
well-
mean, there are some games out there that look phenomenal. Like right now, I'm replaying through Rise of the Tomb Raider, and there's some scenes in there that just look ridiculous, like how good they look.
Yeah.
So I
have
can
the
see
same
that
with
happening when there's
Shadow
not a
of the
lot of people.
Colossus.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what game looks really good? What graphics look really good? Fortnite.
Get out of here!
Number one best graphics ever.
Get out of here!
Wait. I never played that game.
Oh
Explain it
yeah,
to
it's
me.
a little. It's a little big.
What
You
did
would
you
like
say?
it, I don't think.
What did you say?
There's a small
Fortnite?
following.
Fortnite?
Small
We should
following.
all play it on one of our
Star
podcasts.
Fox?
What's everyone's favorite person? What do you mean? What's everyone's favorite person? I see here. Journey Mario asked, "What's everyone's favorite person?"
Spanishdude, because he's super famous.
Goku
Go-
Um,
Goku.
and
Vegeta.
Hathaway. Those are all the same to me.
Oh, favorite presentation.
Not including Nintendo. Well, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Presentation.
Bethesda.
I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
Mine was PlayStation. I don't even care that everybody else hated it. Mine
I
was
think
PlayStation.
PlayStation was my favorite. I really enjoyed what they were doing there.
See, it was really hard.
I didn't like
sorry, go
Nintendo. That's me though. I didn't like what Nintendo showed.
Oh, I was disappointed in Nintendo hard.
But we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're gonna talk about that when we get there.
15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes.
Well, it
See,
was
like with Sony, with Sony, yeah, there wasn't a lot there, and everything, like we said, everything was beautiful. I'm glad they
flute
showed what
guy.
they showed.
The pan flute guy. That was my favorite part. I'm like
But my problem is, like, Sony has been pushing VR ever since they put it out.
Yeah.
You know, they've been doing a lot in the last year, and there are some games on VR I absolutely love. You know, but they didn't do anything for E3 this year as far as that, which I'm really disappointed about, because a couple of years back, I don't know if you guys remembered the book.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the book. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
wait.
happened-
So
wait, what happened to that book?
somebody said that Sony had said they were announcing like several new games up until E3, and I didn't follow it. But when I have to look it up, but when the person said it, they said there was an article saying that there was going to be like a brand new VR game, a brand new regular game, a new game, an old game that's going to have VR support added to it, and stuff like that. Like, did anybody? Because you said that they didn't do anything for E3 with the VR, which they still didn't, if that's the case.
I can name that VR game for you. That's the Transcendence guy with Frodo.
With Frodo.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Elijah Wood is making a VR game.
Yeah.
The new game that they made that they announced was Tetris, which is really sweet.
Oh yeah.
I was so excited, and it's like
Extra
Tetris.
VR.
I was like, oh.
Oh,
And then From Software is working on another VR game, but all they showed was like a little clip of in a hallway, and then it was over. So it was like they didn't show anything. You don't know what the gameplay is. You don't know anything about it. It's just supposed to be different than the regular From Software.
Yes, Tetris VR, Daddy. Yes.
But you
There
just
it
dodge
is.
the blocks.
like that. I don't like VR.
Wait, who doesn't like VR? What now?
No, I'm not a fan. I don't want to shut myself off.
Well, I'm
with
not a
VR.
fan either. I'm a human being, but
That's a fan.
why are we talking about this on our stream that's about games? Crispy.
He's like,
He left, he's done.
Oh, look, there
I
it goes.
love my fan.
I don't have a fan.
I think I
I
broke
got
something.
two.
I've always wanted to get one of those really good fans, like the Dyson ones that are
Oh.
free under $400.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No,
right?
the,
Exactly.
like they have those like circle ones that just like
Yeah. They make no noise, and you're like, how? What alien technology are you?
look there, he's got one of those.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Let's do a podcast about fans.
Megan,
Bring-
it's
everybody
not
bring your
even
fans
that
out.
cold,
I got
dude.
2 fans.
Megan says I don't need a fan because it's already igloo here at my place.
So I'm,
So he's just
I'm-
cold-blooded.
There it is.
Megan,
My
come
game
move
room.
to Canada. Move to Canada for like 3
no.
weeks in January.
Let's
Just
not.
try for 3 weeks in January.
No,
He's complaining it's 71 degrees. Are you kidding me?
I don't know how much
Nice.
that is. How much is that in Celsius?
It's like
Probably about like 30. No, not 30.
No, it's lower.
no.
No, it's like 20,
Whoa.
20, 21.
Are you complaining about 21? What?
Hey, we got hit with what was it today? Today was 37. Tomorrow's gonna be
Yeah.
40. Ah. Celsius.
I could use some
40.
cooling down. In
Double
my game room,
40.
the sun's on it all flipping day, so it's always really hot. That's why I got 2 fans.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm melting. I'm
That's the true reason I haven't used the cam lately. I just don't want to see you guys sweat.
So hey, here's a game that none of you guys have heard of yet, especially Rigo.
Oh, here's the game, guys.
Some little game, President Evil 2 or something. Resident Evil, like, are
No one's heard
they
of this one yet. I don't know.
are they remaking some kind of?
Yeah, Rigo, have you heard of this game? I don't know if you heard about this one.
What
Is that the one about horses?
That's the one with the horses. Hello.
Is that the one with the horses?
You know, where you type where you type epic potato. I mean, what?
What?
Oh my God.
Resident Evil.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Resident
Just
Evil
a-
2.
This was our reaction for Resident Evil 2. Wait, where's my camera?
Hey,
That
we
looks like
got
your
excited.
reaction when. That looks like your reaction whenever I donate.
Yeah, that's pretty much it too.
Yep.
We were screaming just as loud.
Yeah, we were. Oh my God! So Resident Evil 2 remake, they finally announced it. Not announced it, but they finally showed real trailer and actual gameplay, which I may add is probably the creepiest thing I've ever seen. They brought it back. We're looking at, it's gonna be third person, over the shoulder shooting, but it looks like, from what I've been seeing, the zombies are gonna be super tough, and you can't depend on just killing them because they can't take it. Like you can't waste your bullets. Go. No,
I've
so
never played a Resident Evil.
what do you guys think?
I would love to play it.
I got
I
nothing
think
on
you need
this.
to do a knife-only playthrough.
Oh,
There you go.
I don't know anything about it.
There you go.
Crispy will not let him go.
I mean,
Crispy like tells him that every other day. He's like, "Hey, knife only." Ugly Stewie does too, though. Ugly Stewie comes by and he's like, "Hey, knife only, please."
I can't help it.
so we got our trailer. We did see that Leon is back to his former self, not the Resident Evil 4 Leon or Resident Evil 6 Leon that we had with the blonde hair.
And the emo look.
Yeah, he looks, I have to say, he looks like a newbie. Like, he does look like a rookie. You know, he's scared, he's worried, but at the same time, they make him look like, I'm tough, I can do this. You know, they give him that attitude still, so I like
He's
that.
not really tough.
Well,
I'm
I don't even know
excited
if
how
he
they're
was
going
tough.
through the, like, they're going through the same story, but they've changed things. So like the scene with the officer that's there, that's bitten, like you can see that there's a lot more interaction. It's not just you meet him, you talk to him, and he's dead. There's like, it looks like he's going to be sending you off on like little mini missions or something. I don't know. It looks interesting. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the story.
For sure, you know, because I mean, the gameplay they showed was straight right into the police station. They haven't shown anything outside. We don't know what's going on outside. You didn't even communicate with Claire at all, so you have no idea what's going on her end. But from the looks of it, like, you go into, so they showed the gameplay that you go into the area. It's super dark, super pitch black, and like when you get bitten, it looks like the marks of the bites and you getting attacked, your clothes are being torn. So it looks like that's gonna stay, and then over through
Clothes are
time,
being torn.
yeah, man, you get naked. Over through time, apparently, you start healing and you'll see scabs, and I think I like that a lot. I think I like that.
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome. My only disappointment with watching the cutscenes and the gameplay, it looks a lot less likely that there will be VR support because it's over the shoulder. So I think it would be a lot of work for them to go into VR. So if there is VR support, I'm gonna start banking that it'll be like its own separate thing,
Yeah.
kind of like it is on Rise of the Tomb Raider, where there's the game and then there's a VR section. I have a feeling this is gonna be the same, and that makes me really sad.
For sure, no, and I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it would be nice to see that in VR, because could you imagine a liquor right in front of you?
I know, right?
Hot. I mean, oh, wrong one. I'm sorry.
Nice.
All right,
What
so,
incarnation?
Not.
for
I
sure.
think Resident Evil 2 Remastered will be the one that I'm gonna buy, because the last one I bought was Operation Raccoon City. Wasn't a fan.
Oh jeez.
Again, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, that game's
They're
not a
right
good
here.
Resident Evil though.
No,
Going back to what Epic.
I
what
thought
Epic's
about
been
getting
changing.
the Revelation ones, because they're with discount now in the eShop.
Yeah.
On the Switch as well. But I don't know. I was
The
so
first one is
disappointed in
good.
that one.
No, it's totally night and day, man.
No,
it's
in
totally
Ra-
different.
Raccoon City, I mean.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. It's totally different than Revelations, because Raccoon City was a very, like what we were talking about with Epic earlier. It's they changed everything where it just became all about action and not about horror at all. Revelations went back to how it was like in Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 2, where it was like dark corridors and low ammo and like a good story. So if there's anything you want to try, 7 or Revelations is a good way to go for the modern ones.
Yeah.
Play
for sure.
6. It's not a horror game anymore.
Yeah, they ignore 5 or 6 because they're just action games.
6 is the only one I liked.
Oh my
I'm
god.
still looking for 4 on the GameCube. I sold it when I was a kid, and I'm like, I want it back now.
I have it. One of my friends donated.
Crispy's
to me.
like,
I'm
I
so
sold
happy.
it when I was a kid, like last year. No.
How much
I'm
better
just
is
kidding,
Resident
Crispy.
Evil? How much better is
Haven't
Resident
you
Evil 2
heard-
to Smash Bros?
Oh my God, it's so much better. It's so much better.
Just completely jumped to it.
And
but-
Rigo loses all his subs.
Right? He's like,
Okay.
but no, I think they did graphically. I think they did a really good job. At first, I wasn't like when they showed the trailer, I was a little confused because like it didn't look graphically nice, and I was like, uh-oh. But then once they zoomed out and then they showed everything, I was like, there they are. There's the graphics I want to see. But I mean, I was excited. I've been waiting for that game for a long. For me, that and for Louis too. That was the game that really made me fall in love, and I said, yes, E3's done. That's all I wanted to see, and I was very satisfied with that.
Yeah, once I saw that, I was like, E3's over. It's done.
Dang.
It's done. It's
That's
done.
all- I mean, that's good. That's good.
No more E3. We're done.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that was it. That's the podcast. We just want to talk Resident Evil. See you later.
Guess I'm out then. I got nothing to add to that.
I mean, nothing beats Final Fantasy VII. I know you guys heard all the news the C3 about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Tons of
I know
news.
everything they said about
All
it.
that
Man. Oh.
news.
Well, let's
yeah.
hold
But
that.
we're
Let's
leaving that
hold
till the
that.
end because
Let's
there's
hold
just so much to say. There's just too much to talk about.
Yeah. We'll talk about Waluigi later, McJowl. I'll tell you why he's not in Smash.
What? No, why?
Oh, jeez.
Okay,
right.
the one game that they announced like 4 or 5 times, Kingdom Hearts
The
3.
one game to rule them all.
No, everybody showed a trailer for that.
Yeah.
Square did, Xbox did,
Nintendo did.
See,
Not
but-
really.
Sony did.
But see, Sony showed a little bit more than most guys. I really enjoyed what I saw for Kingdom Hearts 3 because they actually showed a different trailer, which was like
Yeah.
still. But the thing that
Well,
bugged
I
me the
also
most, I
think-
don't know if you guys noticed, but there was no sound effects. All there was music and the voices, but there was no real sound effects to it.
Yeah, I pointed it out to my brother. I'm like, do you guys hear something? I'm like, do you hear something weird? He's like, yeah, what is that? I'm like, there's no sound effects. It's just music and voices. There's no sound effects in any of the trailers. That worries me. Because
Now-
if they can't even get sound effects for the cutscenes that they're presenting, what does that say for how far along they are in
Well,
the game?
You know, if you listen closely when you're playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, there's many times when you're racing and they remove all sound effects and you only get the music.
I've never had that happen.
You will
never
now listen
noticed.
to it and you'll find that. I've heard it many times where it'll just kind of go silent, but not really, but it'll just be the music. And I've pointed out many times, you know, and I'm like, that's so weird. The music is just overtaking all the audio and stuff now.
Corey made it up.
Jesse,
Jesse says Corey
Jesse,
made it up.
no,
Yes.
every one of y'all, let's just all grab our switches and start racing.
Let's just play Mario Kart. Yeah, but this was very, very evident that there was no sound effects. Like there was stuff like explosions and nothing, and it's just like it's really weird.
No,
Like, there
it
was-
probably isn't the same thing. It's probably not supposed to be like that. Just fun fact.
Yeah,
Unless my
Maybe
Switch is
they did
broken,
it on
it's possible.
purpose.
I don't know. You think they'd have a little more development for it, considering they knew, like Square Enix as a company knew that was going to be the one thing that everyone focused on, especially with all
sure,
the
yeah.
big deals they did. I mean, hell, you look at Microsoft. Everyone was shocked that Kingdom Hearts was on Microsoft first. Microsoft paid bank for that,
Mhm.
and they had it, which was fine. But then you look at Square Enix's one, they had those sound problems, and then you look at Sony's one, where they're like, we're going to give Sony more because Square Enix and Sony have always been like this.
Mhm.
Like, that's why everyone was so shocked. So you would think whenever they have something that hyped, they would make sure to bug test everything before they put it on the presentation. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
But
and
it might
and-
not be a bug. It might be intentional.
I mean, I like
Oh,
what
wow.
Steffi was saying here. She's like,
Well, yeah,
maybe,
exactly.
maybe they were trying to not distract from the featured song they were doing. I mean, that would make sense. They have this song playing, and they want you guys to focus more on the song. Listen to what is
Well,
playing.
that's usually how it goes with kind of Disney movies trailers, right? You hear the song, which was made by probably some young singer I don't know because I'm old. I mean, I learned lately who Selena Gomez is. I mean, before like last week, I was like, who is that? Who is that? So maybe because it's kind of Disney-like, maybe it's on purpose.
That's
Maybe.
okay. I understand where you're getting from, Crispy. 3 years ago, I thought Taylor Swift was a guy. I really had no
Not to be
idea.
confused with Taylor Lautner or somebody.
I was like, that's not my music, so I'm not going to listen to it. And then they're like, that's Taylor Swift. I'm like,
Yep.
what?
Yeah, you just get those people in stream. Do you know who this is? Who?
Yeah, it's like what?
But she's super famous. I said, no, Spanishdude.
Listen, you just gotta tell them when you're super famous and she's super famous. Sometimes your paths don't cross.
I'm
mean,
gonna use
that's it.
that one, Corey. I'm gonna use that one. Thank you very much.
And you gotta like when you say that, you gotta say it real low, like copyright Corey. Say that.
That's funny.
Gold Bob.
No, you know what? Yeah, you're right. They didn't show. I just saw here, Corey. They didn't show no Star Wars World, which I thought maybe they would. I know they showed Pirates of the Caribbean
Frozen
World.
and Tangled.
Frozen, Tangled, Toy Story. We got some
Pirates.
But I thought for
Wreck-It
sure
Ralph.
we were gonna get some. They showed Wreck-It Ralph. I thought for sure they were gonna show some Star Wars.
Now here's
Seeing
my
that-
question, because I don't know the timeline, because I'm not a huge follower of Kingdom Hearts. Did they acquire Star Wars before Kingdom Hearts 3 was ever started, or did they acquire it after? Because if they acquired it after, the story
I
may
don't
already
know.
have been there.
Well, Kingdom Hearts. I mean, they've been in. It's been in development for many years now.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely it was in development before the acquisition. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So that's my assumption as to why there's no Star Wars, because they probably were already well in development behind the scenes. That adding Star Wars may have been something that just wasn't in the budget or just wasn't within the script writing or whatever. You never know what crazy things they're doing back there. That's my only reason that I would see it not being there. But I don't
also,
know.
Steffi and Ryan both have good points. That Star Wars is such a huge franchise.
Mhm.
And huge. So like, I mean, you got Final Fantasy stuff in there, but like at least each game is like self-contained, right? So they could put one without it having to be like the whole encompassing of the series. Star Wars, on the other hand, you take somebody from there and put them in there, or a world from there. You have a lot more to encompass and to really involve in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like their own, even their own
I just
religions and their own
read
followings and
that-
whatnot.
I just read that Sony announced Kingdom Hearts 3 on the PS4 with the teaser back at E3 2013. So that was before Disney's
That was-
takeover on
Yeah,
Lucas.
that was definitely before.
See, even though they do that, and this is from someone who's never played Kingdom Hearts, I know that there's a
What?
gummy ship.
Man. I mean,
And he's at
Get up and go. I've been banned. But no, I know like there's a gummy ship, and essentially
Yeah.
it's flying through space, right?
right.
Yeah.
Like even if they did it after the acquisition, they don't have to implement the entirety of the Star Wars franchise into it. They could just put
Put some
something,
TIE fighters.
put something in there, because I know
But
a lot of people don't like the gummy parts. I've
just
heard
think it would
many
be-
people complain about it.
I just think it would be hard to like single out and put something specific, one small thing into it without upsetting a lot more people.
Millennium Falcon.
Well, but they're doing that with I forget what game that Microsoft is putting out. It's some kind of space flying game, and then in the Switch version you get to play as Fox McCloud. It's the same thing like that.
Well, it's
Starlink.
not.
Oh, yeah,
Starlink.
Starlinks.
But see, that's a little different. I'm talking about like a whole encompassing universe, right? An entire universe, not one. If they put like, if Luke had a cameo in the game, I could see that, and that's still probably something that we could do, that we could see. But a world, I think one world dedicated to Star Wars would be tough to do.
Yeah, no, but I
because-
think what
Way too
Epic
big.
is going at is like
Alderaan.
during the space
Yeah,
like,
whatever.
something not bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Space
isn't
Mountain.
like in the previous games, since I've been watching Rigo play, like aren't they like snippets of like the different movies in the worlds?
Well, it's usually a world that's built around that whole thing,
Yeah.
around like the movie or whatever. So it's, but
Yeah.
it's typically, when you think about it, it's like Frozen and Tangled and all. They have their own world, but they're also, and Tron has its own world, and Pirates is gonna have its own world, even though they've got a ton of movies, but it's not really. I just feel like Star Wars is a lot to encompass and just to pick like and make one world based on Star Wars. And that's my opinion. I could be completely off base with the reasoning behind it or whatever. It's a thought that I have, that I feel like if they wouldn't be putting a lot more into it, if they put like 4 or 5 worlds based around Star Wars, they could maybe do something. But
I get what you're saying, Corey. I mean, look at the Star Wars franchise as a whole.
Yeah.
9 movies now. Look at all the Netflix series that have all been successful, all the books. Like there's
plus the
way
universe
too much.
itself, literally all of space and the different planets and the different things. That just to me, it just seems like a crazy amount of things to
It's
pick
way too
something
big.
and build a world around it, basically.
Exactly. Like as
put a
opposed to
world in
regular
Kingdom
Disney
Hearts.
movies, it's finite. Like you have
Yeah.
Toy Story,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Toy Story.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying, Corey.
You
But
you
in
picking
between
up
the
what I'm putting
space
down?
things,
I
that could
smell
be
what you're cooking.
possible.
I smell what you can. All right, Ubisoft. They did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Skulls and Bones. That reminded me, the way the graphics were, kind of reminded me of Assassin's Creed Black Flag, the whole ship area.
Yar, my matey.
I'm actually, I was watching the trailer today, and I'm really interested and excited to try that. Like, I want to play that game.
Right? Because who doesn't want to be a pirate?
So I
mean,
gotta say, when I watched the trailer, I still hadn't tried Sea of Thieves yet. So I was like, whatever. Like, it's nothing that I'm super excited about. It looks cool, looks fun, but not really my thing. I played Sea of Thieves now. I've enjoyed Sea of Thieves, which a lot of people don't like.
I like
I think
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I like it. A lot of people think that it doesn't have enough, which I agree. I think it should have something more. If Ubisoft is smart, they can wipe the floor with Sea of Thieves with this game, because they could do everything they did in Sea of Thieves and then make it better. And with the more realistic graphics and the bigger battle systems, it looks like it's going to be pretty cool. Now that I've played Sea of Thieves, I really want to play Skull and Bones.
It did look interesting. I
Right?
never played a
Right?
game like that
Exactly.
as well.
Especially the,
Yeah,
the,
it
the
did
naval
look really good.
combat. That really reminded me of Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Rogue. I was like, I really like that combat. Just shoot every ship you see. Doesn't matter if it's a man of war or a schooner. Doesn't matter. Just shoot it to bits. Hijack it. Plunder it. Sail off.
And that's what I like. Like in Sea of Thieves, the boats you see in the oceans are other players, right? Whereas here, it's like you're going to have to actually hijack ships. At least that's what it looks like in the trailers. That would be such a huge level of difference where it's like you're going to go and hijack the ship to take their stuff. You're not just being a jerk
But-
and that's, grieving some
As
other
the-
player.
As they also showed, if it's a stronger ship, you can you can ask for help. So other players can come to you. So you hijack it together. You plunder it together. But then, are you gonna get stabbed in the back
Yeah.
or not?
Right.
And that is a thing, PvP wise, that I'm very, very curious about and very excited about because I'm gonna stab y'all in the back. I'm a pirate.
Oh,
matey.
Don't party with Crispy, confirm.
For sure.
I want to see the world burn. Yar, free world, let it burn.
Where's the Black Pearl?
Where's all
Why's
the
the
rum
rum
gone?
Why's the rum gun?
Where's the rum? Okay.
But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm definitely gonna buy that game, try it out, and
Me too.
hope for the
No, it looks fun. It looks great. I'm excited. Are we
Yeah.
gonna, like I said,
Yeah,
are we
but
gonna get what we didn't get with
I've played more fun games that at first look, and then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
well
So-
with Assassin's Creed Black Flag, 90% of the time I was just on that ship playing the music and going after all the I don't remember what they're called.
I kept
Spaniard
coming
guys.
back to one song in Black Flag, and that was the Johnny Bonkers song. I still have that on my phone somewhere as a ringtone for somebody because I was like, "Oh, this is my song. This is my jam. This is my jam." Oh,
Right.
crazy! I can't wait. I'm really excited for Skull and
Yeah, I
Bones.
think I think they have a really good chance of like really humiliating Sea of Thieves because they can fix everything they did wrong with Sea of Thieves, which Sea of
for
Thieves
sure.
still has a chance with the DLC that they announced. But
Yeah.
I think Skull and Bones has a real big leg up on this if they play their cards right.
Yeah,
What was it
no,
called
for
again?
sure. I agree.
Cursed Sales and another one. I think it was like 2 in 1 or something for the
Yeah,
DLC.
it was two of them. I don't remember what they were called.
Yeah, one is Cursed Sales, which has something to do with my flying countryman, the Flying Dutchman, which is always a good thing.
Flying Dutchman. No, pirate games make you want to.
Davy Jones.
Hey, I'm telling you, we were playing Sea of Thieves and we just kept going back to that. Arr, let's go get the booty.
Yeah, you just want to talk like a pirate. It's awesome.
Yeah, let's go get Epic's booty. What?
When I'm gonna play that on stream, I'm gonna put on an eye patch and a pirate hat and be like Captain Jack Sparrow.
But you gotta really be drunk. I mean, come on.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh,
commit.
when I'm gonna play that game, there is gonna be
Commit to it, man.
well beer, not rum. I don't like rum,
Commit.
but it's gonna be a drinking game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny.
The only thing you're missing is the beards. Make,
You
the, make the little dangly
Just
things.
just superimpose Chatley's face.
There is a
Ah.
costume shop in the city here somewhere where they sell epic beards.
Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it.
They sell
I'm
Epic's
gonna do
beard.
Epic's beard.
That's not very
Yeah,
expensive.
Definitely.
It's not very expensive. Assassin's Creed Mario Odyssey.
So a little embarrassment. I actually thought that that's what it meant because I was on Twitter, and yeah, I swear. So I was on Twitter, and you know the channel The Know, the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
posted out something about Mario, and it said, the new Mario Odyssey game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I was like, what is this? Like, is it because you know how they did
Crossover.
Rabbids, right? I was like, is this another crossover with Ubisoft? Like, are they doing Mario in Assassin's Creed gameplay? Like, what? I was really embarrassed
That
when I
would be
realized I wasn't
amazing.
even close to that.
You find out Mario's part of the Ezio bloodline.
Right, exactly.
No, in Odyssey, I like that you're able to choose as what you want to play as a guy or a gal. I really like that because normally it was like, okay, you're a man, or in Liberation, you're a girl. I really like that, and that they make the choices you make in the world same as pretty much any other Ubisoft game, or no, sorry, BioWare game from like Knights of the Old Republic. That your choices affect the world and the dialogue. I like that concept.
Yes.
But I think with Origins and now Odyssey, I think core as what Assassin's Creed was as a franchise, because we all know you were in the modern world, you got stuck into some kind of computer, the Animus, and you got sent back through your DNA to relive the times from your ancestor.
Mhm.
I haven't played Origins or finished Origins yet. I don't see it there quite with what it has to do with Templars and Assassins and you bad, no you bad, no you bad, no you bad. But I think like they're kind of losing the story that I fell in love with playing those games.
Yeah, see, and I heard that the new story. This is my concern. It's kind of the opposite, where I heard that the game kind of got burnt out after the second one, where it was just the same thing over and over again, kind of stretching out information that's not really there.
Yeah.
And then they took that break and then released this, and it kind of reinvigorated everything. Now, my concern is, are they now getting greedy because everybody loved the first one, like Origins or whatever? That now they're releasing another one the very next year. It's like, are they going to start doing the same thing and stretch out this gameplay until it's no
don't know,
longer
so.
fun?
I must say Assassin's Creed 2 with the Brotherhood and then Revelations, the story as a whole, as those three games as a whole, was really good, but it was a bit of a stretch. Then they had Assassin's Creed 3, which played in the revolution of the United States versus the Redcoats, which was really good. Then you went to the Pirates, which was actually before the revolution. So the timeline is a bit weird. With the time you're playing in the Animus, but it's still connected to the first couple of games because it was all through DNA of that one person, Desmond Miles.
Yeah.
And then with now I'm gonna think with Assassin's Creed Unity, I think they went wrong with Unity. That's where it went downhill in Paris. And yeah, I don't know. I'm not as much in love anymore with the franchise as I used to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is just burnout, right? Like it's just game after game after game. Like
Really
it doesn't give you that chance to really get excited for the next one.
Yeah.
Because it's literally like I just finished it a few months ago and there's already a new one coming out. Like, and I'm scared that they're gonna keep doing that. Like taking that year break made everybody excited for the new one.
Yeah,
And it's like, right away, it's another one. It's like, oh, you guys are gonna burn these bridges even further. Like,
Yeah.
but it looks cool. I really like the Roman thing. Like I've always liked Roman history, so
Greek.
or Greek, sorry, Greek history. So I'm excited to see it, but I don't know. I just don't know.
Exactly.
No, you know what? Like when I was looking at the battle system, I was telling Louis that she kicked the well, there was a female character. She was doing a kick to one of the she was kicking someone, and it actually looked like there was a lot of power going into that kick. It felt strong. It felt. I like that. That they did that, because before you just fought and you're kind of like, oh, okay, fighting, you're dead, done. But now it's like, it feels like there's actually something to it. You fight, and then you hit, you're like, yeah, that's a satisfying hit. Like, I feel good about that, you know. The graphics look amazing too. Like, they actually look nice, in my opinion. You know, I thought the graphics looked nice on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I'm interested in trying it. I haven't bought Origins yet. I heard Origins was awesome. It looks beautiful. I can't pull the trigger on spending $40 on a game that I don't know if I'll like.
Yeah.
I mean, I did it with PUBG.
Yeah, awesome story, but went downhill real fast. But yeah, I'll probably get it, but I probably won't play it for another year because I still need to finish Origins and like 100 other games.
Yeah, that's how I am. I've got so many games to beat.
Isn't that how it always is?
So many.
Too many video games.
I just need to stream all day, every day, because then I'll eventually finish some of the games.
Exactly.
It's the only
There's a lot
way.
of backlogged.
There you go.
You're from 85 on.
Right? The Division 2.
Hey.
All right, who played the first one?
Nope.
Yeah, we played.
I played parts of it.
I put in a very unhealthy amount of time into the one. Like, I think I told y'all on the last podcast, me and a buddy of mine, we picked it up the same, when it launched, and unhealthily, we put like 100 hours into the game in like a week.
Oh my goodness.
Did everything possible and then some. Like, we got to the point where if you play the game, you know, like the challenge mode, they had like only like 3 or 4 challenge mode levels every week or whatever, or every day or something, whatever it was. We were doing them in like 14 minutes flat.
Oh my god.
Like, it was stupid how good we got at it. And like, yeah. And then after like the first couple of weeks, they were kind of messing with some stuff and tweaking things and making things a little better, and then we just got super burnt out.
Sorry, Megan. When number 2 comes out, you won't see Corey for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not all that excited about the second one. Like, I really, not to mention every game I get that I'm super excited lately, I just end up not playing it. It just sits there. I'll play it for a little while, and then I'm like, well, never mind.
That's what happened to me.
I
with
played number
Kirby.
1 for a little bit with my brother, and then we stopped playing it for no reason. Like, not that we didn't like it or anything. We just kind of moved on to something else. Now that I've seen number 2 gameplay, I've gone back and gotten number 1 with the Game Pass, and I started playing it with Lana again. I forgot how fun that game is. I don't see the differences because they said it was really bad when it started, like number 1 when it launched, and then it got way better. I don't remember what number 1 was like when it first launched, so to me it doesn't seem any different. But I'm excited for number 2. It looks pretty cool. Alana really likes number 1, so I'm hoping she'll really like number 2. But it looks cool. I think
talking
it's
about
gonna
the
be
game.
No, yeah, like as long as we get actual reward systems. I mean, last time all you ever got was you killed someone, you got a beanie. You killed someone, you got a big fat coat.
You don't want a pair of chinos?
You kill someone, and this one you get booty shorts.
Yeah. And then Epic Potato Chip shows up. Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good. I gotta say though, I hate when they do those fake gameplay recordings.
Yeah,
like they talk all professional, like they're actual professional players, and it's just like nobody talks that way. It's usually a lot of like BS talking to each other and making fun of each other and yelling, and it's not like there's a guy right behind you. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, you noob! Don't you see it?
Yeah, that's what it's more like.
Yeah, like that was just too unrealistic.
I was just at your house with your mom.
Like,
did I leave my Cheerios over there, or was my inhaler in my bag?
Or there's always that one player.
I thought I was gonna jump in.
You know, I really had a lot of people like, "All right, guys, be right back."
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh! In the middle of something,
and then you get at the end, and okay, guys, I'm back. But we did everything.
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
Or in my son's
they
case,
better get their reward.
If you get a
And
scar, it's mine.
then he says, "Okay, thanks for the XP, bye."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm semi excited for that one. Semi. I'll probably pick it up just because it's multiplayer. I like multiplayer games, especially when a big group gets to play. So that's what makes me excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, it's that moment that we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
It's that moment. All right,
Drum roll, please.
are we ready? Resident Evil 2. What do you guys think?
Why is Resident Evil 2 better than Smash Bros?
All right, let's move on to what everybody's been waiting for. Nintendo. All right.
Woo! Nintendo hype.
Right?
Yeah.
Nintendo hype. I'm gonna skip the first one just because I know that's what everybody's waiting for. But Mario Party. They showed Mario Party off.
Hey.
Dudes, I'm really stoked about that. I saw that it looks like they went back to the old way, not in that little cart or train.
Yeah, no car, stupid.
That car was
Finally.
Right? I know. And it looks like we're going back to the board. I mean, I'm really excited about it. I'm stoked. So what do you guys think? Like, I want them to implement online play. I think that would be a really good idea.
So I was talking about this. Yeah,
I
I was
do.
talking on my stream last night about it, and somebody said they looked it up, and Nintendo confirmed there is online. But this is how it was to me, that it's only for the mini games and not for. I mean, not necessarily for the board game mode, which to me sounds dumb. So like, you could go into a separate mini. You know, you could always play the mini games on their own. So like, you could only play the mini games online, but why wouldn't you be able to play the board game? Like, I feel like that's something you actually had to intentionally take out. Yeah, because if you've already got it there, why not enable it for the board game mode?
Yeah, I mean,
That's way
this
to
is
annoy somebody they take out.
yeah. Apparently, this is the thinking behind it. Is a lot of people that want to sit down and play online, they don't want to sit for 2 hours, which a lot of these games can take. So they wanted to avoid that. I'm of the camp of they should give you the option of which one of the two you want to play. So then you can do the board game, and you know you're getting into the board game, and you're probably going to be playing with friends, right? So like, let's say us 6 are doing it.
Yeah.
We're all prepared to do it for an hour or whatever. And then they should give you the option of just mini games. Hopefully they'll do some kind of patch and listen to the audience, you know, because Nintendo does that so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll listen to the audience and let them choose, because I would really, really love to have like a streamer extravaganza of Mario Party and just have a bunch of us playing, because I think that would be hysterical.
Awesome.
Exactly.
See, I have the counter argument to the whole, like, people don't necessarily want to sit for 2 hours or whatever, because I had this discussion regarding the Mario Party Top 100 game on 3DS, because I thought that was so dumb. Also, they could have absolutely added online for that, and somebody was like, well, people have to sit for 2 hours, an hour, or whatever. Every Mario Party game, well, I can't say every, but I don't remember necessarily all of them, but you usually get a chance to choose how many turns you want to play. Anywhere from, like 15 or 5 or whatever in the older games up to like 30 or whatever. So that gives you a varying amount. Now, they could say if you're playing an online game, maybe you can only do the, 5 to 10 turns or whatever. That way you're not sitting there for several hours, if that's, if that's their thought process behind it.
Mm-hmm.
It should
I mean, I
still
know
be
this
an option, though.
That's, and like I said, if you have it built in for the mini games, it seems silly to not at least include an option to do it for the regular game, because it's like you're hurting more or losing more customers, I guarantee, losing more sales on it by not including it than you would be by including it.
Yeah.
Because people who don't want to sit for 2 hours online or whatever are just not going to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And they could implement something like a bot system. So like, if somebody does drop out, a bot can just take over, and then they can find somebody new to step in.
Pretty much.
And that was another
Mario
concern,
Kart.
right?
They have that technology because it is
exactly. Yeah, it is, because you'll see like somebody will say they get disconnected, and it'll be like, but why is so and so still racing? Well, it's the bot now. And it's funny you brought that up, because that was another thing we had talked about. When I was having the same conversation about the top 100 Mario Party, is that if somebody gets disconnected, it kind of stinks. But again, they could just add a bot in. We know they can do that. They've already got that in place. Nintendo as a company has a game that does that.
Yep.
So, yeah. That's my ramble about that.
I agree.
I think one of the things that they might also be trying to avoid with the board game is you'll get rage quitters, right? You'll get people like, oh, screw it, I'm losing, I'm out of here. And then it kind of leaves, like, if you're playing one-on-one, it leaves you kind of just hanging there. It's like, well, I didn't get to win. You don't get the satisfaction of winning, and you lose halfway through the game. I'm going to assume that has to do something with it, but I'm sure there are things that they could implement to make it possible. Like, even if it's just private games, you could do the board game.
Yeah,
Then you know it's your friends, and you know they're not going to do that.
I'd be totally fine with that because I don't necessarily want to play with randoms.
Exactly. Like do the mini games with everybody, and then say you could start a private game online, and you can invite whoever you want in online, and have the full-fledged game online that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to handle it. Would be just you add them to your friends list. If they're on your friends list, they can play with you. If not, then well, because you're not going to want to play with a random person in this board game style game.
No.
Yeah, because the
Yeah.
whole point of this game is to sit and laugh with your friends and make fun of them when you beat them or they make you
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. And friendships while you're at it and stuff. Yeah.
and never talk again for 5 years.
Until the next Mario Party comes out. So you need somebody to play with again.
Yeah, you go to friends weekend out years later. Hey, do you remember that Mario Party? Okay, party's screwed.
Vacation's done.
It's the friendships in Mario Party, right?
They've always been really good at
I
ending
think
friendships.
there's more friendship in Mario Party than friendship in Mario Kart.
No, I don't know, because while Mario Kart does give you ammo, literally, to attack your friends, Mario Party is the same concept, only you're not necessarily attacking them at every moment. You're playing these mini games competitively. You're stealing their items. You're stealing their stars. Oh yeah, super competitive, and most definitely ending friendships.
You didn't have to steal my star, but you did it anyways.
I always get Mario Kart
Me
every
too.
time I play that game. Apart from when I play with my friends, because they all suck.
Wait a minute, are you talking about us?
No,
Hey.
I'm talking about my real life buddies. My-
Challenge.
Wow, we're pretend buddies. We're pretend
I know.
Pretend.
You're my online family, bros.
I remember when I was sub to you.
I remember when I was sub to you.
Y'all super famous.
All right.
Oh,
and
man.
now for the moment of truth, the one thing that everybody's been waiting for. Fortnite.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Corey's very excited about Fortnite.
No, he
No.
doesn't like it. He told me already.
Oh, I think it's
Horrible.
great.
How many
I think it's wonderful.
how many tiers did you gain during this podcast?
I haven't been playing it.
Not
I
without
thought about
smiling.
it.
No, I've been watching you. You've been looking down a lot.
Oh, Switch is over there.
Fortnite on the phone.
Oh God, no. Nope.
Busted.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's great. I'm glad that Nintendo finally took this plunge.
Yeah, and
to
you know what
open
I
their
really like?
servers.
The fact that PlayStation is the one not allowing people to go in other systems, and Nintendo is allowing it. Nintendo, the guys
they-
that don't allow anything are
The
allowing
guys that still
Yeah.
live in 25 years ago.
Did they confirm that Microsoft can connect with Nintendo servers?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone except Sony.
Oh,
Sony
wow.
is the only one that everyone else can't connect to. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Sony's
Well-
holding my account hostage because I logged in once for 5 minutes.
And that's the big rage that people have is you do it and they don't warn you that this is going to happen. So you have an account that you may have worked on forever and you don't have an Xbox, so you didn't have, the need to sign in somewhere else. So your PC's fine. And then you go to your Switch and you realize everything you've done is now down the drain because you can only use it on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And that's where people are mad. It's like, if you would have told me this was happening, I could have prepared.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Exactly.
So I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, that was also because
But then-
they had a skin a while back that if you linked your PS4 to your Fortnite and your Epic account, you get. And of course, you can play it on the PC, but at the same time, that's like an intellectual property of Sony. And if they see that on the Switch, then that's a violation.
Mhm.
So I know where they're coming in from that regards, but they're still jerks for doing it regardless.
For
Yeah,
this
they
should
could
not
have
be
just
something
made it unavailable when you were on systems or something, right?
Well, they've been
Yeah.
so worried about their servers getting hacked again, because you guys remember a couple years ago when it was just hack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
big,
yeah.
oh yeah, every 10 seconds.
Couldn't play online for weeks.
And they don't want to do that again. Like, look at Nintendo and Microsoft servers.
Mhm.
That's so easily hackable. The Switch is completely hackable, portable. Like, you can do anything to it, but no one's gonna hack Sony through those systems if they're not linked to it. Because Microsoft doesn't even have a good security net either.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's what they're worried about. They just don't want that to happen again.
No,
Because
and
that was a PR firestorm.
yeah, I understand that, but still, like, again, all that work, all that money spent, on battle passes and all that, and then I go in and I'm like, well, I can't touch the Switch version. What the heck? You know, not that I play it anyways on there. I mean, PC all the way, but again, it's just like it kind of.
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean, I'm glad. I remember when I played with you during one of your sponsor streams. I can't remember who it was. They're like, "Oh, link your system. You're gonna get a free costume," and I almost did.
Probably
and I
Nigel.
forgot. Probably. I almost did, and I forgot. Well, now I can use my account on my Switch, thankfully, because my big draw to having it on the Switch is when my brother's playing, my consoles and everything are hooked up to my desk. I don't want to sit on my desk at like 10 o'clock at night to play. I want to just lay in bed and play. So I like the fact that I could just grab my Switch and just play without having to get up and set up everything to play.
Yeah. Is there a way to unlink the system?
As far as I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think
eh?
so.
I'm just wondering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
But-
want to be cool too, Corey?
Corey's playing Fortnite on the Switch.
No.
You
I just
just won't
had
have the big headphones like everybody else.
Oh, it's disconnected.
Although I think mine are pretty close to the biggest out of everybody's.
Oh,
I think so. I think that's the biggest ones.
well, they are the most
Mine
honest,
are
so they are the
almost
best.
Mine are pretty large.
Mine are gigantic though. Like, look how big those cuffs are.
Well,
But
Which
I bought
one,
them,
like,
I bought them for the
cuffs?
color. I bought them for the orange because gotta go with the.
I like the orange too. I agree.
Aw, I should have gone with orange. I bought this one.
Oh,
dude, I like that one a lot.
But yeah, I think Fortnite on the Switch is gonna be good as far as mobile. Just because look at the mobile versions they have right now. They're coming out on Android in the summer, which is great because now Android players can play it. But I mean, I know you guys have always been a fan of Nintendo. They won back then with handhelds, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, like everything. It's always been about mobile, and it's always been successful.
Yep.
Now that you can actually have Fortnite with controllers instead of using the touchscreen, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be
No, it's
wonderful.
true. I mean, didn't they say like something stupid like 20 million people downloaded the
2
game?
million.
2 million in the first
2
day.
million in the first day.
Like in the
after it
first
was
day,
announced.
that's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause everyone
yeah,
wanted to
I,
see
I
what it
think
was
as
going.
we speak right now, little man is at your house playing Fortnite.
yeah, he is. He is. He asked me for the password for the internet.
There you go. See?
But yeah, no, it's I think on Nintendo's part it's good because it's the biggest selling game, so more people to play their Switches. And on Epic's side, the Switch is one of the best selling consoles that's running right now. Where else would people want to play it? Like it's just it's win-win for everybody. And the amount of people that are now going to be available to play this game, because I watch my brother when he does his streams, and most people are like, "Oh, I don't have a PlayStation," or "I only have an Xbox," and it's like, but with the Switch, it's like so many more people are going to be able to play now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Steffi says the kid has his priorities straight, right? And there's a perfect example. Steffi, when I message her on sponsor or wherever, be like, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" She's like, "Oh, I'm playing Fortnite." I'm like, "Wow." I message Sir Nigel, "What are you doing?" Fortnite. Everybody is addicted to that Fortnite game, especially on the Switch. It's gotten very addictive. You know, and it's the whole portability thing. You know, because like Corey said, again, he wasn't really interested in the game, and all of a sudden he's messaging us saying, "Well, I'm gonna play some Fortnite because it's super addictive on the Switch."
I mean,
Yeah,
no.
I'm not interested anymore. I played it when it came out the first day. Wide the pretty early access on the Battle Royale. Played it a lot. Played it on stream with another streamer. Played it off stream. I got my first solo in back in January, and then I quit because
I mean, I'm not gonna point fingers.
Quit
But
at the top.
a certain streamer came onto my stream one day, said he was sending his hellos, and he's like, "But I'm trying to, what's the word? When you're trying to."
Oh, this has infected all the streaming community or something.
Yeah, something like that. And then
Really?
he said he was gonna. There's a word for it, but when you're not gonna be a part of it, right? And then not even after they announced it, he was already playing it on his stream. So it's like, well, you can't do that. You can't turn around and come onto my stream and say that.
It
first
was
of all.
not me, I can assure you guys.
It was Corey, guys. It was Corey. Don't believe
It
it.
was all Corey. And
Louis!
then now you're playing it almost every stream. You're playing it on your stream. I mean, I know if you hate the game, that's fine. But if the game, it just boycott. Thank you. Yes, you know.
That's what it was. Boycott. Yeah.
They was boycotting. So it's like now you're turning around because it's on the Switch, because it's on Nintendo. It's perfectly fine, right? That doesn't see that the game's the game, right? Doesn't matter what console it's on. But again, just to
Kinda
show you,
hypocrite.
how fast something like Nintendo just doing that, it can turn somebody's mind about that game around just because it's on a Nintendo console now. Especially,
Yeah, I mean, I see all the positives to it, and I can speak about them. But I'm with Crispy. I'm not a huge fan of the game. I like it when it's like with a bunch of friends and you're goofing off, but it's one of those games I can play 3 or 4 rounds and then I'm like, I'm done. I don't want to play this anymore. Like it's just, I played it on the Switch when they announced it. I downloaded it as soon as I got access to it, and I played 3 rounds. The 3rd round, 10 minutes, I wandered around by myself. First guy I saw killed me instantly, and it's like I spent 10 minutes just wandering aimlessly, and to me that's not fun.
I do that almost every match.
Yeah, so for me it's like I don't like the fact that it's like nothing and then everything happens and it's over. And
Exactly,
it's just like,
but if you wander around aimlessly in a squad with like 3 other
It's
three
much
other
more
friends,
fun.
it's much more fun because
Mhm.
you can goof around. But if you're doing
exactly.
solos, it's like, and you get killed, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
exactly. No,
So for me,
It
it's
just
not
sucks.
a huge game. But I see what the appeal is. I see that they're doing everything right, and Nintendo is jumping right along with them.
Of course,
Yeah, I feel
of course,
though,
exactly.
I feel that Nintendo's gonna get bit in the butt with this though.
You think
Because
so?
I do think so, and I think Epic's gonna be the only thing that comes on top, only because I've played enough on the Switch now, and I've played enough on the PC, and seen enough of Xbox and Sony's play gameplay, to where if you try really hard to snipe on the Switch, it's almost impossible.
Well, that's with every console,
engines,
right?
the engines cannot handle it.
I sniped a couple of times.
But okay, let me ask you something. If you see something in the distance, is it like juddering, or is it smooth?
That's true. I had
It
noticed
depends.
that.
It
I did
depends.
notice the
Yeah.
judder.
There's definitely times when it's all like stuttery and jittery and all, and there's times perfectly smooth.
Because Fortnite does run at a lower FPS on the Switch,
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah,
gonna.
It's not a surprise.
I feel like that's gonna make it so whenever the people who are playing on the Switch are gonna want to start getting better, they're gonna want to start getting wins. They're gonna want to start doing as much advantages as possible to win. They're gonna realize that they're being held down by the physical limitations of the Switch,
Mhm.
and they're either gonna move to another console or they're gonna get a new PC.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm just thinking too far ahead in the future, but those kind of limitations, as far as trying to be a professional in a game, it's not ideal.
But
Well, I think
again,
professional
if you
is
guys,
one
if,
thing,
if you
but-
guys remember when the PS4 and Xbox came out of that game, they were locked at 30 until they finally did all the work and they got it running at 60. They can still do that with the Switch. Just turn around, work on it a little bit, adjust things, and make it run at 60. And that just recently
love
happened
that.
too, didn't it?
Yeah. Pretty
Hell,
much.
I wish I could play more. I can't log on to the Switch. It gives me an error message every time I log on.
Oh
Like,
no!
Oh, jeez.
Connect
Like
your
your account
Wi-Fi.
doesn't work.
Connect to
My account doesn't
Wi-Fi.
work. Like,
Like you're infected with Sony?
yeah. Well,
You gotta make a new account.
well, no, I've never actually logged in on a Sony account. I've played it on my Switch, and then one day it was just like error. This game cannot load. I've done it like 6 or 7 times, or even re-downloaded the game, restarted my Switch, just kept saying error. Logged on my PC, all good.
Huh.
Try to get on the Switch.
Maybe it's the Switch servers.
And that's what you're getting for paying for Switch servers in the future.
Oh, I can't
guys.
wait.
There it is. All
They
right,
do
guys.
need to improve that.
That's funny. Wow, we had a lot to say about Fortnite. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, neither was I.
Me either.
And now
This
we're not
next one,
gonna.
I have nothing to say about.
I was gonna say now we're gonna do this one, and we're not gonna say anything about it. Smash
All right.
Bros. For
out.
Nintendo Switch. I'm out.
All right.
Nintendo confirmed it's a brand new game built from the ground up.
Nintendo confirms that.
Got everyone up.
Where are you going, Epic? Where are you going?
Everyone's
Get back
here.
down. Sit down. Sit down,
Everyone's here, except for Waluigi. People are seriously upset.
What the world?
Epic. What is going on over there?
He's destroying his apartment.
It's just
He
for
almost
Kirby.
fell off.
Kirby
All
all the way.
that for Kirby.
All that for Kirby.
No,
All
but
right,
like,
so McJall asked why Waluigi isn't in Smash Bros. And I saw a tweet today with a
Waluigi isn't.
statement from Miyamoto, and it says Waluigi will not appear in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The man he is based on, my friend Walter Luigi, threw up in my car last week. I will not. I will not put him in another game until he pays for my car to be cleaned and apologizes to my wife, who was also in the car at the time.
that's funny.
So there, yeah, guys, that's why
There's the
Waluigi
answer.
is not in Smash Bros.
I'm with Daddy Gamer. Like, I just do not see like the hype for having. Now, I'm also of the camp that I don't like if new characters get added, that's great. I mean, it's always fun with new characters. I'm okay with that. I will never be opposed. It doesn't matter who it is. They can add anybody in, and I'll be like, cool, it's a new character. I either will play as them or I won't. It just does not bother me. I'm not offended by any means by Waluigi not being in the game, though, because like
He's
why?
He is in the game.
He
He's
is.
just not playable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
stop whining. He is in the game.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
You know what they're gonna do? They're just gonna make Wario skin as Waluigi.
Yeah, there
The
you go.
DLC.
They're gonna be like, you want it? There you go.
Hey, Alden, what's up?
But
Hey,
I
Alden.
do understand why people thought he would be, especially after they showcased Daisy as what did they call it
An
again?
Echo Fighter.
An Echo Fighter, yes.
Exactly. So I could see why people would be like, yeah, but why not make Waluigi one of those too?
But Daisy,
understand.
Daisy's at least more of a like a staple character, more of a staple character
that
than
is-
Waluigi is. You know, I mean, but they could have
we all-
just done it to appease the fans. I mean, at
Yes,
the
because
end
there
of the day,
was so much Daisy hype. This is what we all wanted in Smash. is Daisy.
It's exactly what we were talking about it last week, weren't we, Potato?
Yeah, I mean, I think about Daisy all the time. I'm just like, I would love to play Smash with Daisy. I mean, we need another Peach Club. That's
I mean, I wasn't okay. I thought it was cool that they said, okay, we're adding all the characters all over from every Smash Bros. That's cool. I like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, they spent a lot of time for their conference. It was like 5 minutes of each game, and then the rest was all Smash Bros. And
Almost
it's like
27 minutes of Smash Bros.
right,
That's 'cause
27
they
minutes of
knew.
Smash Bros. But it's again like, what can you really show of it? You're gonna show that the fighting mechanics that we already almost know. You know, the characters, we know all the characters. There was nothing really. I mean, I would have been satisfied with we're getting all the characters. Boom, 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 boom. Here's the game. There you go. Done. Let's focus on maybe something that we didn't announce, like wow, new sponsor.
Hey, Muttley.
Everybody hashtag Muttley in the chat. What was I gonna say? I would have been happy
sponsor
with it.
distraction.
But instead, you know, because they could have focused on what happened to. There it is. Welcome back to the Taco Supreme meal with it, people. Give it a sec. The music's playing. I mean, I would have been happy if they would have turned around and said, "Hey, you know what game you guys would like to hear? What about Yoshi?" You know, they talked about it. Never heard about it ever again. You know, sponsors go ahead and spam all the emojis. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It looks nice. It looks a little bit more detailed. I mean, how much more detail can you add to that game, right?
I'm in love with the
It
new
looks
Zelda.
beautiful.
It does
I'm
look
in love
beautiful.
with
Games always have great music.
They need to have it be 8-player multiplayer though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was missing in the Wii U, and I didn't even know that until I got back into it with the kids and stuff. I'm like, yes, 8 players. We go online. No, 4 players.
Yeah, they took
Like,
away.
For a moment, I thought we were still talking about Yoshi. I was
No, because you
like,
know, you know,
eight-player multiplayer on Yoshi
that
not
was
seem like it would be effective.
if you
It's
go
8
back,
Yoshis.
if you go back to my stream when we hit, I think it was 500. When we hit 500 subs, I did a tournament, Super Smash Bros. There was 8 people on that screen. It was fantastic. And then like a couple of months ago, I'm like, hey, let's play some Smash Bros. We do it, and it's like, there's only 4-player. What happened to tournament mode? You know?
Yeah,
remember
because they
that.
discontinued that after a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
I
like,
don't think
I
there's.
think that was a stupid thing to do, and if
It
they do
was.
it again, the hype is like, bye. Because I would love to play like we do with Mario Kart now on Fridays. I would love to play Smash Bros.
Yep.
With y'all.
I've already brought that up a couple times.
Exactly.
I'm really hoping for a tournament mode a la, you know, the Mario Kart method with code, where we can set it up and set up a code and have it maybe reoccurring, things like that. It definitely could happen because it's still a Nintendo game, and I see no reason why they couldn't do something just like that. But yeah, I've been hoping for that too, because I was thinking of switching it up, and if something is like that, if they have something like that, you can switch it up every week or something.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, again, sure, I'm I like Smash Bros. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. I love Smash Bros. I enjoy it very much. With playing with viewers. By myself, I can play for an hour and then I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I don't even play that long usually if I'm.
Well, it's one of those games where it's like if your friends are good, you can deal with it. But when you're playing with like random people that just destroy you, it just takes out the fun of the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why I've never played it.
Here's
I
the
bought it
worst
for the
part.
3DS and I played it for like,
And then-
I think I played it for 3 days and then I never touched the 3DS version again.
And
It's
and
just sitting in its box.
there
I
you
remember
go.
downloading the
3DS
3DS
version
demo
for it.
version, and it was not good.
And
And
I
the same
did
with
not
Hyrule
enjoy it.
Warriors.
you know what? Like one of the biggest issues I have with it when you're playing online with other people. This happened to me live stream. You got two people who pick Ness, and all they kept doing was spamming PK Fire over and over and over and over again. And then when they finally destroyed all of us, both of them just sat there, rocking their heads back and forth. And it's like, can you do something? Because we're not gonna sit here for an hour watching you rock out.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, you will.
But they will. They will.
Oh yes. they
Sorry, I gotta
will.
go for the night. Have fun with it. No, Fran, you have to stay here and watch
Bye,
us.
Fran.
Fran, you have to stay, Fran. Fran, you're
Yeah,
not
really,
allowed
You
to
don't
leave.
get to leave.
You're not allowed to
Hold
leave.
the hostage.
All the GGs.
Yeah, I wish they would have talked more about like other games, but they only went in depth on Smash Brothers,
Exactly.
and they went in depth to
New
the part
facial
of,
expressions for Donkey Kong, and it cracked. You know, the Omar's helmet cracks and repairs itself, and come on, those are super important features, you guys.
but the issue with that is that's like telling
Sarcasm.
you what you're getting for Christmas. You know,
Yeah,
part
Oh,
of
yeah.
getting a new game is finding those little things.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
here's
that's
here's the
just
other
like,
thing.
Here's
You
the
know,
game.
But they know that the stuff's gonna get out. They know the stuff's gonna be leaked out anyway.
Exactly.
Why not have them just do the presentation and tell you about it?
I mean, I guess so. That is a good point.
I'm not happy with it, but I can understand why they would do that. You know, but who knows? There still might be a ton of stuff that we don't know about the game.
It might just be because they had nothing else to talk about.
Eh?
I'm part of that camp. I think that there
Yeah.
wasn't anything else to talk about. I even told my
Yeah.
brother from the start, like once all the big guys were done and we were waiting for Nintendo, I was like, I don't think there's anything that they're gonna have that's gonna be mind blowing. And
Yeah.
and we called it from before. I'm like, it's gonna be Smash, and it's gonna be almost all
Come
Smash.
on, you telling me Fortnite wasn't mind blowing?
I mean, they did also Xenoblade Chronicles
No, but-
2, which I'm excited about. But
I'm excited about that.
Me
I've been
too.
really
Yeah, me
hooked to
too.
number one.
Yeah.
Me
You
too.
know.
I can't believe number
Really
one is like
excited.
$90. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
$90?
What,
Yeah,
Xenoblade
it's
Chronicles
super
Well,
rare.
because
for
it's a
the Wii?
GameStop exclusive.
Oh.
This
What was I
game
gonna
right
say,
here, for the Wii,
Yep.
Wow.
That's
$90.
$90.
$90.
Well, it
Yeah.
doesn't retail. That's not retail. That's basically what you can
that's-
find it on. You know, like
Yeah.
not if that much.
I
But
got
They
the
only
3DS
made so many
version,
copies
I
in
really liked it.
English.
hey, you know one thing we haven't talked about, by the way, which I put on is Octopath Traveler.
Mm.
Yes. Yes.
So that demo is pretty sweet. It's a brand new demo.
That demo.
It's
No,
it's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, like I really enjoyed the demo. You know what? I love the game. I love what they're going with it. It feels nice. It looks nice for like a bunch of pixels. It does look nice. You know, and the fighting mechanics, I really enjoyed them. I think it's gonna be one of those games that is probably gonna win a lot of people over. I mean, they're doing a really good job with it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I still need to play the demo, but I'm looking forward to that. Definitely
Demo,
gonna
man.
grab.
It's good.
Definitely gonna go grab that.
All right, you go ahead.
Yeah,
and do
I'll
that.
probably
We'll wait
grab
for
it.
you.
I'm a huge RPG fan, so I'll
Me
probably
too.
end up grabbing it.
They
I
had
got
a-
the collector's edition on pre-order.
Boom.
Oh,
I'm trying to
nice.
think what else they gave us. What Fortnite? Not Fortnite.
We keep going back to Fortnite. We keep going back to Fortnite.
Fortnite. This is the last podcast where it was always Nintendo.
Yep,
Now it's
Nintendo,
Fortnite.
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys
no,
heard about that game Fortnite, right?
How
No,
about
they gave us
Fortnite?
Fallout Shelter, not Fortnite.
Oh, Fallout Shelter.
Oh yeah, that's right. They gave it to us on the Switch, on the Wii U. I was gonna say.
I had so many
originally
people
was on
asking me
phone
if I've
anyway.
ever
What a new Wii
if I
U
tried
game?
it.
I've never even tried the first one, like the original one on the mobile or whatever.
I did. I played it on mobile and then on my computer.
Yeah, I'm playing on the Switch right now
Like right now, while we're
How
Wow, so
rude.
rude.
with my feet.
rude
With my feet.
with your mind.
What was I gonna say? You know what I was surprised they didn't talk about a lot of is Pokemon. I thought we were gonna hear a lot about that,
Yeah.
and they kind
And
of
I
just
thought we
went,
were gonna hear a lot
Well,
about the mainline
They
game.
they talked about it in Treehouse Live. I watched the Treehouse Live version again today to write some things down. It's like full page, but
well, just some things. Just some things. You just write something, just a little bit.
Oh, chair's falling.
Little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, they already announced Smash Bros for this year with the direct.
Wait, they did?
No. Let me finish. Don't make me grab my fan. No, they already mentioned 2 mainline games, which would get people really hyped, and Metro. I think that's why Metroid and Yoshi didn't get mentioned, because they're just planning ahead for their sales for next year. But yeah, with Smash and Pokemon, people were already like, "What? Where? Take my money!"
Exactly.
So they keep the things, but we're going to talk about that later. Next year. But with Pokemon, I'm actually really looking forward to Pokemon Let's Go. I don't know if I'm going to go with Pikachu or Eevee, because I hate Eevee. I like Umbreon, and I don't like Pikachu at all.
What?
Yeah.
How do you not like? Wow, can you leave, please?
I don't like Pikachu.
This is like the second time we've asked you to leave. There will not be a third.
No, even in Pokemon Yellow, I Pikachu out because it's just rubbish to play. You cannot even evolve either your Pikachu or your Eevee, so that sucks.
Really?
Wow. Really?
Yes,
That's
you cannot evolve your Pikachu or your Eevee.
That's the whole point of it.
As I heard.
That's what I've heard too. I've also heard that there's a chance that some people are thinking that it might be like the original games, where the only way to evolve Pikachu was by trading him away and then trading him back, and then that would allow them to evolve. So people are hoping that's what they'll do. But yeah, I've heard the same thing, that it's not going to evolve. So that's a bit of a bummer for a lot of people.
So what's going to happen with Pikachu is it's going to end up in my computer box, and see you later.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, you know what? Like,
And since Generation 1 doesn't have the best Eevee evolution, Eevee's going to end up in the box too.
Okay, but we don't know that it's only going to be Generation 1. We back in the region, because the thing is, you're going to be able to trade Pokemon and stuff, send Pokemon back and forth like Pokemon Go and all. So
From
whatever they
Generation
have.
1 and their Alolan counterpart.
Is that all that's in Go? I don't know. I haven't played Go.
Well, Pokemon Go has it's in Gen 3 now with some Alolan types like the Executors with a huge neck. But you can trade those over. I don't know if they will look like the Alolan version. That wasn't shown, but you can at least trade them because they're also Pokemon from Generation 1. And they have a different look to it. So I don't know if you're going to send that Black Rattata. Oh, Rattata! If it's going to look like the Black Rattata, that it's a dark type instead of just a normal type. That wasn't shown. That wasn't mentioned. So
but here's maybe you, because you watch the Treehouse, maybe you can answer this. The Pokemon you find in the grass, is it only to catch, or is there original fighting? Did they mention that?
The Pokemon you see in the grass is only to catch.
Oh wow!
The trainer battles, gym battles. That is just classic fighting, like we are known by Pokemon. It's the same as every other game, but the catching mechanism is the same as Pokemon Go. You can use the Joy-Con to just throw it like upward, up hand, low hand. You can adjust it so you can even make a curveball from the side or whatever. But this game is meant to connect the current Pokemon players and the Pokemon Go players, to connect them, to make them all interact and get together, to make it one huge Pokemon group and make them all hyped for the next mainline Pokemon game.
Daddy Gamer has a question. He says, "Is this a full Kanto game?" I don't know what it means. I'm not a big Pokemon player, so I have no idea.
Well, that's the first region, right?
Yeah, Kanto is the first region, so this is going to be the full Kanto game.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much, see it as a remastered version of Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow.
Oh,
I think that's a good way to see it.
I would venture to say remake rather than remastered.
Remake from
remake.
I would
remastered.
probably say that too. Yeah.
Not to be splitting hairs, but there's a
No, you're right.
You make a good point there.
Yeah.
because it's not like they're because the mechanics are totally different. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, even the regular battles, which are limited to trainer and gym battles, are going to be different because you can use a second player playing with the second Pokemon, you know, at the same time, which to me is actually one of the coolest parts. But I can't see this game from what I've seen. It does not look like a $60 game, and GameStop has it reservable for $60, which bothers me a little bit. Unless there's something they're not showing us yet, like a lot of content or a lot, you know, because as of right now, like I want to get into the next mainline game because I like Pokemon. I just haven't been into it lately. But this one does not really interest me at all, to be honest.
Now that is what I just said. This is to connect the Pokemon Go player fan base to the mainline game, and that's why they put the Pokemon catching mechanism like in Pokemon Go. Instead of just swiping it on the screen, you just use the Joy-Con to throw it. And I prefer to fight for my Pokemon because
same.
I don't know, just throwing a ball. You know, I don't want to throw 500,000 Pokeballs at Mewtwo's face to catch it. That just sucks. Yeah, and I know you can use, like in Pokemon Go, you can use a raspberry or another berry to make it more easier to catch, but still.
Hey, well,
I love to get that rare Pokemon and then use one ability, and then it's like critical hits. It's dead, and I'm like, crap.
Exactly. Hey, it's like Steffi said here. You know, rip to grinding, because if you're a low level, that's what you did. You went into the grass, bought a bunch of Pokemon, boom, there you go.
True. They do have, if you catch a Pokemon, it does still give Pokemon in your party. You turn probably experience share on or off. It does get more XP for that, so it's not like it's complete waste of time to catch them. They also have auras. Some Pokemon have blue auras or red auras. The red auras is that the Pokemon is bigger in size. Blue one is that they're smaller in size. So it's a little special. I don't know if it does anything. It wasn't mentioned. It's just like Pokemon Go. You got XL Pokemon and small Pokemons and all that stuff. But yeah, I want to know more, and I think the Treehouse lacked a little bit of that. They did mention a lot. I need to check my notes there, though.
While you check your notes, going back to what you said about how it's to link Pokemon Go players with the mainline players. I heard a rumor. I don't know how true it was. I just heard it in passing. That one of the guys working on Pokemon, I don't know if it was the creative director or somebody, said that this is like the newbie Pokemon, but the one that's coming out next is going to be for hardcore players, and anybody who's never played Pokemon should not play the new one because they're going to be in for a shock for how hardcore it's going to be for real Pokemon players, right? So
I don't think I like that.
And people are like, it's to appease the original players, right? Because a lot of people are like, I'm not happy. This is like the baby's version of Pokemon. I want like a real Pokemon game. So they think that he's saying this to kind of make people feel better, that no, there's something real coming out. It's just, this is to kind of help bring new people into the world as well.
How many more new people do they need to bring in? It's one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Money, 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 money. Who cares? More and more.
Yeah, if there's more people that haven't played it or that aren't playing it, there are people to bring into the series.
Yep.
I understand that, but you don't do that by taking all of EV's evolutions away.
Yep.
I bet you they do.
It's an evolution Pokemon. That is the type it is. Evolution Pokemon. How are you going to take away that stuff?
I'm curious to see though if in this game if there's going to be Mega Evolution in it, because Mega Evolution was in X and Y. That's where it started, and with Sun and Moon they got rid of it and they got the Z moves. But I'm not a fan of the dancing thing. I know it fits the whole Hawaiian theme that Alola has, but I really like my Charizard X. Charizard X.
What was I gonna say? All right. Well, now we get to what. Let's talk about what wasn't shown at E3, because there was a lot of games that I was hoping they were gonna talk about, they were gonna show, and they didn't show anything. So, Final Fantasy VII, they talk about it, and we didn't get even another little trailer, anything for Final Fantasy VII. What do you guys? Cough. 7, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I felt heartbroken.
I was beyond expecting at least something from Final Fantasy VII, because we got something last year, and then we got we got flooded with screenshots, and we got flooded with even a little video after, like, past E3. And so I figured we had to get something, because they showed us the battle system. They showed us the flipping battle system. I mean, that's progress. That's something substantial to show. Why would you not show us something now? It's actually quite concerning.
So my logic behind it, like what I'm thinking is happening, because I've heard that they actually scrapped everything.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, so I think that they're at a point right now where they have nothing. Like they're in the preliminary part of programming. I don't know enough about programming. Chadley, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But you know, there's things that they're working on that they just can't show. So I think instead of worrying everybody by showing something, they tried to not show anything, so people would kind of just not worry about it. But I think they did more damage than good, because now everybody's like, "What's happening? Like, why is there nothing?"
Because exactly what you said is exactly what I was concerned about, and I had heard something a little like that, just as well. But the lack of anything, because they showed us, we got such a heavy dose of it last year. Even after E3 and all, and then you show us zero, nothing.
Yeah,
that to me is more concerning than if they were to be like, "Hey, by the way, now we've scrapped the last 2 or 3 years worth of work," because this is not the first time they've done that. Now,
we're expecting that. Oh, we have one more thing. That's what you were expecting, and then it was like nada.
They could have showed me an 8-second trailer like they did in Octopath.
There you go. Would have been happy with that.
Just something.
Exactly.
Show me you're still working on it, even if it's you scrapped it.
I mean, if you scrapped it, they should have just confirmed, like, okay, we acknowledge we scrapped it. Here's a little teaser of what we are working on that is going to be different. Yeah, just leave it at that. Exactly. Even if it was an 8-second clip.
Exactly. You know what? I'm just gonna throw it out there. Why didn't they show Claire in Resident Evil 2 remake? My God.
That's the real outrage right here.
That's the real outrage. No,
disappointed.
Something that I was actually expecting to hear from Nintendo, and because there was a lot of, again, they were just rumors, but there was a lot of that going on, and we didn't hear nothing. Maybe it's not going to happen, but I was hoping to hear a new or a report of Mario Maker for the Switch.
So,
and I was really hoping, because I know that they did bring out a report saying that that they were working on testing different things, testing different graphics, doing slopes, and that's all they mentioned. But we didn't get not even a little, "Hey, look, we are working on this."
Yeah, but we don't need to. Think about it for a moment. Think about the fact that Mario Maker is basically keeping the Switch, the Wii U alive right now, keeping it afloat, right? Barely, but it's keeping it basically afloat. Look at people like me and Crispy. We both bought Wii U's just for Mario Maker.
Yep.
And while I would just like you guys, I would love to see a port or a new game or whatever. I think the smarter thing to do is to wait until at least some of the attention is a little bit off the Switch a little, because the Switch is doing very well. The Switch is moving very well. It's selling great. There's not a shortage of games like people wanted you to believe for a while. There's not a shortage of new stuff coming out or whatever, announcements about it. So I don't think it should necessarily be a lifeline, but I also just think that if people are still continuing to play it really hard on the Wii U, let's let that go on for a little while, and maybe next year we announce, when some of the traction has slowed down a little bit, we can then announce it on the Switch, and people are going to go like, reinvigorate.
Well, to be honest, it is a lifeline. Like any time Nintendo would come into financial instability, let's say that, they could just drop a Mario game. That's all they need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's on a handheld. It doesn't matter if it's on a console. You want a Mario game, you want to make some money, boom, there you go.
Yep.
So, like, yeah, Corey's right. They don't have to. I mean, the same thing with Zelda. Of course, we're not going to see anything Zelda this E3. Same thing with Mario. We just got Odyssey. We just got a DLC. We're not going to see anything. They can take this time to do a little more risks. Reach out to more third-party companies. Reach out to more indie developers. Once, like Corey says, it starts to decline because there's just oversaturation, or just quality of games aren't as good because Nintendo is not always the best judge of filter.
Yeah.
They'll just be like Mario Odyssey 2 or Mario Maker 2 or Zelda Breath of the Majora's Mask. You know what I mean?
Breath of the Majora's Mask. I like that. That was good.
That's the game I want.
And you know what? It's true. I agree with you, Corey, 100%, and with you, Epic. You guys make good points. You know, that was fun.
Still bummed about it though.
Oh yeah,
I'm still bummed about it. And you know,
you want to know how to make it come faster? Let's just all stop playing Mario Maker.
Okay,
right.
no more Mario Maker. On our
Hashtag
channel,
no more Mario Maker on streams. Done.
Nope.
Nope.
You guys have fun.
Corey's like, nope. Everyone else.
Does the best on our
because-
channel. Yeah, y'all just go
because-
fine on Sundays. Tomorrow, guys.
Because the Switch is still so hot, they
Yeah.
want to keep it hot and going. That's why we didn't saw anything related to Metroid or Yoshi, because those are just two mainline games. I know some people are like, yeah, Yoshi, and other people are like, wow. So, yeah.
Wait, other people are like what? What are other people like?
Wow.
That's funny. You know,
So
okay, I'm not gonna. There's one
They
thing.
want to keep it hot and going. That's why
Yeah.
They want to keep it.
they kept it with Pokemon and Smash Bros for this year, and next year they're probably going to show some Metroid. They're going to show the next
Yeah.
Pokemon installment, maybe a little, I don't know, maybe a Zelda remake or 2D Zelda, I don't know. But they want to keep it as hot and popping as going. You know, keep it going. So they don't need to throw it all out there.
Exactly.
And they are doing it really, really well, I must add. Because when the Switch came out, we only had a couple of games. There was a lack of games. And look at it now, man. Look at it now.
It's true. It's true.
Ubisoft third parties, and name it, it's really doing so well.
I
Absolutely.
want to see some Captain Toad.
Well, I thought they had released something on Captain Toad. Did they not?
There was no info, I don't think, right?
I'm not sure.
They just had it in that little sizzle reel, I
yeah,
think.
but I mean, it comes out
Yeah.
like very soon, doesn't it?
I
Yeah.
thought next month or this
Yeah,
month.
very
Yeah, I
soon.
think it's July.
Oh, so how about that Lobo? We didn't hear anything about Lobo at E3.
Labo.
Lobo, yeah.
Oh,
thing.
the Labo thing. you're talking
Uh,
about?
that
yeah.
cardboard thing. Yeah.
The cardboard
like-
thing.
It came out, and now they're like, okay, yeah, we
Yeah,
won't
we
talk
had it.
about it anymore.
We had it. It was okay. All right.
July 13th, Captain Toad for the Switch.
What about Animal Crossing? Nothing was mentioned about that.
See,
Are you
That's
guys
true.
into Animal Crossing at all?
Mhm.
I've
I'm
never
not, but
played
I've heard a
it.
lot of people were
but I
really
heard-
upset that there was no Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Didn't they mention
Yeah.
something about Luigi's Mansion coming to a Switch too? Also, like, I know they're bringing out the remakes for the 3DS, but didn't they mention they were making one for the Switch as well?
Animal Crossing and
I don't
Luigi's
think they
Mansion
mentioned-
are games that can hype people for the Switch. So of course they're not going to throw it out there. Maybe
Yeah.
they could tease it, but I would see a Animal Crossing or a Luigi's Mansion game more teased at a direct somewhere in, I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe next year's March or something,
Yeah.
than at E3, because they already had big titles going. So that,
Yeah.
of course they're not going to do that. That
Well, you
would be-
mentioned the Nintendo Directs, and if you notice, like Nintendo, like since they do that throughout the whole year, like E3 is like, I don't know, I get this impression that Nintendo is just like, E3 is not really that important to us
Mm-hmm.
because we do
Right.
it throughout the whole year. So like
Yeah.
we strategically decide when we want certain games that we know are going to be big titles,
And
and
show
we
that
just
off.
show them off whenever
Yeah.
we want because we do these
Exactly.
directs like every quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree on that. Because if you looked at this, Nintendo's E3 here, there was a lot of talk about Smash Bros. Because that was the hype game for this E3, right? Everybody was hoping to see more details. Is it a port? Is it a new game? So I think Nintendo is just using E3 to show off the games that they already teased in a direct, and just tell more about it. Same with
They were playing that version at the tournament, right? Like when they
Yes.
did the Smash Brothers tournament, they
They
weren't
did.
using the Wii U version. They were using the new one, which
Yeah.
is maybe why maybe that explains why they wanted to show so much.
could
Mhm.
be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I
But
mean,
they
that
also
was
have
realistically
Doom
the main
tournament.
game there. For
Oh
them.
yeah, no
Like,
doubt.
even their demo booths, that was mainly Smash.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nintendo is doing that really smart. They're really thinking ahead, planning ahead for the future, and They're
you know
doing
what?
really good.
They brought themselves out of a terrible slump. I mean, they were failing.
Yeah.
They brought off a terrible. I mean, they really messed up with the Wii U, and they're making sure they don't do that with the Switch. And I have to say, it's working. It
working
definitely
great.
is working. You know.
That's what happens in Nintendo all the time. They've always been a company that goes up and down. I mean, of course, NES, SNES, 64 was great. Virtual Boy crashed. GameCube crashed. You know, this is just something that Nintendo's always been used to, and they've always been able to pick themselves up. The Wii, I know you guys have probably seen the GIF of it. It prints money. And that was the truth.
Yep.
Between the Wii U, the Wii and the DS, they were literally the second biggest grossing company in Japan.
Yeah.
Because of those two things. And then, the GameCube tanked them a lot. The Wii U tanked them a lot. Now the Switch is pulling them back
the
up.
GameCube wasn't that bad of a console. It really wasn't. At least I believe it.
It wasn't, because you had good games.
Wii U
You
was
had Prime.
partly bad marketing, Wii U, because when I first heard about the Wii U, I thought it was like a Wii 2.0, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a completely different console, and a lot of people who I spoke to about Wii U thought the same thing. So maybe they should have, I don't know, named it differently.
A lot of people that I talked to about the Wii U back when it was first launched, a lot of people that knew about the Wii, they were confused because Nintendo focused so much on the gamepad.
Yeah.
People thought that was like an add-on. Like it was something that they were going to like, oh, you have a Wii, you can get this tablet type controller that will allow you to play all these new types of games on your Wii. Like that's how it was marketed almost.
Yeah.
And they didn't
I
really
had people actually tell me that. People who not big gamers, but like had kids and they had a Wii. And I had a friend of mine literally asked if the Wii U was an add-on for the Wii. And I kind of laughed and I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh. Well, no, it's a totally different thing. And she's like, oh, because it looks like an add-on. I was like, I can see that,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I said. I think Wii U was marketed really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Especially with the
for
name,
sure.
because I thought it was for the Wii as well at first. And I'm not the only one, thankfully. So, yay, I don't feel stupid.
Yeah, I'm just glad Nintendo's opening up the doors for third parties to be a part of it now. Like they're enticing third parties,
Yes.
which I think was a huge like issue for them as well, along with the marketing. Is no third party wanted to work with Nintendo. Like nobody
Right.
wanted to deal with them
really
because they were.
difficult.
No, exactly.
Because
right.
it had to do with the gamepad constantly, and not a lot
exactly.
of third parties wanted to do that. And with the
Yeah,
Switch,
and
well,
not to mention
you can use
Nintendo's-
it.
Yeah,
but you
and
don't
not to
have
mention
to.
Nintendo's like old barbaric ways of manipulating everything that happens through their consoles.
Yeah.
When you could go to PlayStation and pretty much do what you want, and they're just gonna let you.
Yeah.
I think now that they're opening up with the Switch and allowing a lot more to happen, it's bringing a lot more, and that makes me extremely happy to know that the Switch is bringing life back to Nintendo and making Nintendo something to actually consider now. Whereas before it was like, yeah, I've got an Xbox, oh, I've got a PlayStation. We've all got a Wii, but whatever. But
Because-
now it's like,
and
no, I've got a Switch. Like the people are really like serious about it, which is really, really nice. I'm so happy about that.
Right.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
they did better too,
Come with
because
more.
they gave the third developers options of, do you want to use the Joy-Cons or do you want to just make a regular game? They didn't do that with the Wii U. They're like, we want you to use this
Yeah.
gimmicky heavy pad.
Yeah.
And I want you to make a game based around that. And everyone's like, nah, bro.
Nope.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's like, nope.
I'm
Nope.
good.
Take care,
that
have a
or
good
the
one.
developer. Actually, I've read about other developers saying, well, we just couldn't come up with any ideas that could use it in a way that they felt was engaging and new and fresh. Like
Star Fox
Like-
was.
Oh,
Yeah. There you go.
is that all they wanted to do was just make a regular game, put it on the
Mm-hmm.
system, you play with the controller just like you always do, which you could do, but then what's the point of having that screen then? So
Yeah,
Exactly.
like Mario
Right.
Kart, at least you got to use you got
you got the horn.
track. The track. You could have Mario Kart have the track on
they
there.
did have a few good games. Like even with the Twilight Princess remastered, that was amazing with the gamepad. I loved not having to open up an inventory screen.
So, yeah, Wind Waker too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
I
with
mean, it
that.
had its benefits. It was too bad
Well,
that
yeah.
it was so limiting.
Yeah, and I mean it's like Chadley said. I mean, I could see developers being like, well, I don't have any like this game doesn't necessarily have a good, interesting, and innovative way to use the gamepad. while I want to be able to allow them to use a controller or even anything like that.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
a
see
lot of
that.
work.
That does make sense.
It forces developers to basically come up with a new IP.
Yeah.
Because like existing IPs, like they're already established. You already know how the games play. Why should they try to change a game that has a big fan base? Like plays a certain way. Now you have to change how it plays just to make it work with this controller. So it's like, yeah,
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, no, I think they've opened up a lot more. And one of the other things that I think was a bit of a flaw with the Wii U, which the Switch looked like it was going to be a flaw, but now we're in a place where it isn't. Having older generation graphics, where like the Wii U wasn't really up to par with what was out there.
Yeah.
And then now it's like the Switch isn't up to par with the PlayStation or the Xbox, but the changes are so subtle now that it doesn't really affect the gameplay like it used to. It's not like N64 to PlayStation 2 where it was a huge leap. Now the graphics aren't really like, it's resolution, a lot of it. Like it's not a huge leap forward. So when people are always like, oh well, it's not as beautiful as the Xbox One X. It's like, but it's not that horrible either. It's still playable.
Exactly.
I mean, just take Zelda for example.
Yeah,
I mean,
you look at
if
Breath
you
of the
would play
Wild,
that
yeah.
on an Xbox One X, Breath of the Wild on a Xbox One X, it would be like I would drool the entire game, probably. But we all know Nintendo doesn't really always go up to with graphics. They more go for enjoyment in the games that they create.
Yeah.
And that is something that has been lacking a lot in hugely beautiful games, I think. They're not as fun to play as most Nintendo games, even though they do look worse. But yeah, that's just my thoughts, though. That's just how I feel, and yeah, I don't care what they say. I'm still Nintendo over Xbox.
Yeah. I have all three of them, and I'm like, I don't hate my Xbox by any means, but I'm just not nearly as like engaged. Like I don't want to play it just nearly as much as I want to play like my Switch.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean, I love the Xbox. I love my Xbox. I think they're making all the mistakes Nintendo made in the past, and it's really too bad because it's one of those things where it's like it may not be as powerful as the PlayStation, but it's too bad that Xbox has dropped the ball on it because it could have been a wonderful system, and it still has a chance of kind of making up for it a bit, but it's too bad. It's really too bad.
I mean, Microsoft pretty much said it at E3. They made that little teaser saying we're working on systems. So it's like they're telling you basically that, like, okay, we've given up on the Xbox. We're moving on to the next big thing, getting you guys interested in whatever we're going to be doing in the near future. And sorry, but not sorry.
But it still plays best on Xbox.
Yeah, it still plays best on Xbox.
I just still wonder, like,
There
with
it is.
Microsoft as a company and Xbox, when they're just going to give us a PC. Like, this is their new Xbox. It's a PC.
It's a
Hey, so
pretty
speaking of not Nintendo, real quick, just I'm gonna throw this out there. And if we got any like Call of Duty fans, Black Ops 3 on PlayStation 4 is free currently if you grab it now, anytime now, between now and the 11th of July.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Well, no, but it's just one of those. It was an E3 deal. It was an E3, so I mean, I grabbed it just because
Why
Megan
not?
Megan likes Call of Duty, so we played a bunch of that in the last couple of days. But
Megan
it's
likes
free.
shooting you.
She.
Well, it was like For Honor. I grabbed For Honor because it was free.
Oh yeah, I need to grab that too. I think it should still be free, right?
I think
that's
it's
on
one or
Steam,
two more
right?
days.
You play.
Yeah, I grabbed it still too. I haven't even touched
Yeah, I
it
grabbed
yet.
it. I downloaded it. I played a little bit. It's okay, but free, so I'm okay with it.
Free is good.
Oh, and I say free. You have to have PS Plus.
Okay, yeah, that is plus for Black Ops. Not for Honor though. For Honor's free.
Well,
just
For
on
Honor's
PC.
totally free on PC. But you just go. If Paulo's asking, but if you just got to go on the PlayStation 4, on the PC, or on your PlayStation itself. Type in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 or whatever, and it'll be free if you've got PS Plus. And just download it, and then it's in your library forever. Well, so long, probably so long as you have PS Plus, just like the other stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
I mean, it's free, so.
There's one more game that I missed though, and I know it's from EA, which is like, but it's also from BioWare, and that it was Dragon Age 4.
Wait, they announced Dragon
They
Age
announced
4?
Dragon 4 Age 4.
No, they did not.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's the problem.
That is the point. I had hoped for something because there has been a lot of leaks lately around Dragon Age. Like, come on, don't disappoint me. But of course, they disappoint me.
Of course.
They mentioned one thing, but it was like the presentation, or at least was like, wah. And that was that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or something.
oh yeah.
How they brought that out, I was like, yeah.
You know, it's funny you should mention that because I was doing a little research on the story of what they're going to be using on that. And here's the thing. George Lucas made a lot of projects before he sold Star Wars to Disney. And
He
one of
did.
those projects was going to be an expansion on the Star Wars series talking about these creatures that feed off of the Force.
Oh,
And Will.
It was
Interesting.
like this dire thing, and I almost felt like they're going to try and go with that because that's not actually owned by Disney. They can end up doing that a little bit cheaper.
yeah.
So I kind of want to see how that goes.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
There we go.
that would be something. But since the title said Jedi Fallen Order, which is between episode 3 and 4, as
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so you're probably some Jedi Padawan who escaped the massacre of 66, and you're getting hunted down by the Inquisitors who got introduced in Rebels in the TV show. And yeah, just don't die. Maybe something like that. I don't know.
That was great. Well, guys, I think we've been doing it for 2 hours. I think it's good. The conversation was definitely up there. I think we can all say that overall we enjoyed what we saw with
Yeah,
E3
what would you
this
guys
year.
rank
Yeah.
E3? What would you guys rank this overall E3 experience for this year?
Overall.
I personally, I think out of 10, I think I would probably go with like a 7 or 8. I was very excited over
8.
everything. Yeah, I mean, not everything, but like as an overall thing, it excited me. There's a lot of really good stuff. There's a ton of stuff that we did not mention. Like I made a much larger list than the list that I sent you, Rigo.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time and whatnot, obviously, we could. There's no way. But I mean, there's so many things. You know, can I touch on one more thing real quick? By the way, one more game. Anthem.
Oh, Anthem.
Oh,
No more.
No, look at Louis. I was saying. Well, anyways, it's cool. We don't have to. That was just another one. But anyways, like I said, that was a great overall.
Can
I think
somebody
eight
make
is
that in
probably
a
good.
sponsor emoji for Louis, please?
I know. I'll go back later and see. He's gonna be like, but yeah, for me, 8.
8. I would
Yeah,
say
8.
I would say an 8 for sure. Yeah, an 8.
I would say a 7 as well, but I forgot to mention this and I apologize. There is one game I wanted to talk about that was not shown any love at E3, and that is the new Walking Dead series that's coming.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Is it a new Walking Dead
It looked really cool.
It looked
Yeah,
really
that
cool.
game looks so good.
I heard that it's supposed to be, because I don't know if they had a demo on the floor or something, but it's supposed to be like Walking Dead meets Left 4 Dead. So
Right.
it's supposed to be like team-based, like craziness. So that got me hooked. I was like, I need to try this game. It looks
I can't wait. And I'm really disappointed they didn't have any information on it.
I know.
But yeah, that's all I have to say.
What
But
about you,
yeah,
Jay?
I'd give it like an 8.
An 8, definitely. I think a lot of people give it way less than it deserves because they overhype themselves.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the big thing.
that's
A
the
lot of
biggest
people like
thing.
in chat are saying that, 6 because it lacked things or this and that. But I think we should more judge it on what they did show because they
Exactly.
showed a ton of stuff.
They did. They
I
did
mean,
show.
it's ridiculous how much stuff they showed.
And I gotta say, at least in my opinion, this was one of the least cringy E3s that they've had because they didn't have so many ridiculous, laser tag fighting in the middle of the thing or Ridge Racer. Like there was a lot less
that's for
of
sure.
that.
Do I need to bring up Rage 2 again?
I wouldn't say Bethesda Rage 2.
But
Oh, wait.
overall, I think it was less cringy than a lot of their stuff because they weren't trying so much to hype everybody up. They just let the hype kind of go on its own
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
most part.
Right.
Well, that is
It's
the
almost
problem
it's
with
almost
hype.
like Bethesda didn't get a memo about the cringiness.
Yeah.
They're like,
That's
we're not
okay.
doing that this year, and then Bethesda is just like, oh,
Ubisoft had
we
enough
didn't know.
cringiness too.
They're saying not, but I think it's
Yeah.
opposite day, guys.
You kind of overdid it with the Just Dance intro. It was fun, but it was for Just Dance.
Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
Just Dance has gotten just like any other EA
Just
game. at this
Dance is
point.
coming out on the Wii, guys. by the way. In case you didn't hear that.
Exactly.
It's the actual Wii.
What was I gonna say? What about you, Chadley? What do you rate it, buddy?
I'd say around the same as you guys, 7.5 ish. Like it's a shame because I'm not as knowledgeable about Xbox and PlayStation and stuff because I don't play that very often. But I did try to watch a little bit of everything, and there were some games like if the gameplay is anything like they showed for what was it, Last of Us 2? Like if that's actual gameplay, that game right there would probably make me get a PlayStation, just because that game looks amazing.
Yeah.
And like and I did watch a little bit of gameplay of the first game, and the first game looks really fun too. So if the fun factor, I guess, and the story and everything is in that second game, like that would probably make me buy a PlayStation.
We'll start saving up because I think you will.
Join the dark
The second one's gonna
side.
be awesome.
In the words, Emperor Palpatine.
Oh god.
Do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Crispy and his many impressions.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, what do we say? Let's go on a. We got like 30 something people watching. Let's go on a raid. Let's raid someone.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's go on a raid. I hope everybody enjoyed what you guys saw. Guys, once a month we will be doing this. The regulars who are going to be on this show is going to be myself, Mr. Chadley, CC Gaming, and Retro for the first time. We're gonna try to have 2 guests at a time for every month. It's gonna be different things. We'll probably end up talking about Nintendo all the time, but it's gonna be different things.
Fortnite all the time. What?
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget, in the description below is everybody's channel. Go check them out. Go give them a like. Go give them a sub. And also, you can join my Facebook, my Discord. It's all in the description below. We're gonna go on a raid now. So don't anybody leave. Let's see.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. You can't leave.
Jeez, he promotes his Discord.
We talked a lot about Fortnite. What about Fortnite?
We talked a lot about Fortnite. Yeah, we did.
Fortnite?
No,
Which,
I'm saying
I gotta say,
somebody who's
E3
playing
made
Fortnite to raid them.
it. Oh,
Let's go
Well,
ahead. Let's
Phil's
do
playing.
Phil. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm getting a funny
He is playing
border here.
Fortnite.
Hope you guys don't mind it.
Yeah, I see that.
It's so weird.
Um,
Okay, let me.
How
What do we-
amateur.
I know.
TacoCast raid or something? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna do TacoCast raid. So hashtag TacoCast raid. So let me give you the links. There you go. So let's go ahead, guys. TacoCast raid. Let's do it.
Yeah.
TacoCast raid.
TacoCast raid.
There it is.
TacoCast raid.
There he is.
Guys! Oh no! I'm the potato
I was
chipper
like,
for
I don't
the
know who
first
this
time
guy
since
is,
the
but I'm
game.
subbed to him.
Spanishdude, Tash King,
Did
Stephanie
we rate him last
Chadley,
month?
Sir Nigel,
I feel like we rated
Crispy
him for the
Plays. Oh
podcast
my
last
gosh, so
time.
many people.
Was it
Sarah
him
Shannon,
last time?
Cass
I don't know.
I don't think we
But-
did, but
Indiana.
Oh.
Guys, this
I
is
don't
the
know.
last game. We're gonna have to go raid somebody else. This is the last game.
It's the last
Oh well, he still got some love anyway.
he still got some love. All right, guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. Let me just close this window quickly so you guys can see
Bye,
me. There we go.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Guys, thank you, Epic and Crispy, for joining us on this podcast. I really
Crispy's about to go
appreciate it.
crash.
I know, jeez. It's what, 4 o'clock in the
I'm actually
morning?
still wide awake.
No, it's later than that.
It's
I
almost
think
5,
I'm not
6?
going to sleep.
5:30.
Yeah,
Jeez.
5:30.
just jump on
Oh
Fortnite.
my
You'll be fine.
god.
There we go.
Wow.
Guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. Take care. Have a good one. And don't forget the most important thing in the whole wide world.
Bye, guys.
Come to my live stream on
Bye.
FIFA Famous. Bye, guys. Take care.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.